Hello, everyone. Welcome. Why are you so small?
I'm Smoko.
You're so tiny.
I am.
That's actually
I'm fat and small.
There you go. That's a little better. That's better.
It's rare we actually get to see Co shown actual size.
It's
true.
Yeah. At least compared to the two of us.
I also normally have my hair beanie on.
Yeah, that also is true.
Not today.
Yeah, not today. Not today. Hello, welcome to Drop Frames. It's Sunday. It's already February for some fucked up reason. I can't. I'm still getting. It's been 5 days. Still getting used to that. That's a weird one. We've got a little bit of news. We've also got. Let's just start off the show. Have you guys seen this AI Seinfeld stream? It's been the talk of the week. It's kind of wild. It's a weird thing. Have you checked it out at all, Co?
I've seen some clips from it, but nothing that has been funny. Yeah, I know that. I know that it's like
I agree with you.
Learning.
Yeah.
I know it's still learning, and most of the clips have been like it's kind of getting it, but then there's apparently a few clips that are going around making the rounds where they actually kind of nail a joke or two.
Oh yeah.
But again, it's kind of like, 1,000 monkeys on typewriters situation where it's like if it's just endlessly doing jokes, some are going to land. But yeah, I've heard it's still getting its stride and that it's probably going to need at least a few more months. The thing that I'm a little confused about is, and I don't really understand, is there a feedback system? Like,
I don't know if it's learning
what's funny and what's not, or is it just like always on RNG? Because I do think that it'd be super interesting if it was somehow plugged into chat and like when chat started going off, like it was like, oh, that was funny. So I should like learn from that. You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
Or maybe that was really racist and inappropriate.
That's the thing is like chat would very quickly, I think, catch on to that, and then it would be racist within 5 minutes.
That's how most internet-based AIs function.
Yes.
So
yeah.
In fact, I think the AI VTuber already had some issues with that early on.
They got banned for like 2 or 3 days.
It was like denying the Holocaust because of chat, and it's like, oh, great, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I tuned in. It wasn't. I didn't laugh at any of the jokes. I just laughed at the absurdity. But
yeah,
Zeke,
the whole premise is crazy.
Yeah.
I watched it, and you can see in the title it says "Make Sense Mode" on, and I think I always tuned in when it had that on. Do they ever shut that off? Because that's when I would like to tune in.
I have not,
because I watched it for like
no.
I think a total of an hour maybe of the thing, and it's funny for a bit, but it's I mean, I wouldn't say it's funny. It's amusing.
Yeah,
it's amusing in that like you see novelty. A computer like trying to make coherent sentences. The funniest thing for me is the actions of the characters on the screen. When they sit down, they do that like lean way back, and then they sit
or
down,
just
like,
absorb
that
into
shit's
it
funny.
Their arms like switch positions and stuff. Like
yeah.
No, that shit made me laugh. That shit was funny. But like the dialogue, like I was hoping it would be far more absurd than it is, and it's just like sometimes
okay.
When it makes sense, it's really mundane, man. It's like super like tepid. There's nothing good about it. It's just like watching two people talk to each other and it makes sense. And you're just like, man, this is not entertaining. This is just the AI is like, it feels like the AI, if it was a person, the AI person could get it, like, would be middle management at an accounting firm,
right?
Like that, like. So it's just boring.
It is, yeah. I haven't seen this. They have a
okay. Someone in chat. To be fair, someone in chat said, "Isn't that Seinfeld though?" And you're not wrong.
You're not
wrong.
I'll say it. I've never been a fan of Seinfeld to begin with. The show.
I flipped.
Oh yeah, I guess you're flipped on here. I'll flip you back. That's fine. Or although we could have the count outside.
Seinfeld, like, there is cleverness in Seinfeld. Like this,
sometimes
you took all the cleverness out of Seinfeld. You took all the cleverness out of it. Like you filed down all the clever edges, and that's what this show is. It feels like Seinfeld without the jokes, without like anything fun happening.
Yeah. Outside of all that, it is a little crazy. It is a little surreal. It is a little wild that like this can exist, right? Like it's one of those things where I look at it, I'm just like, wow, what a weird thing that this is like where we're at, that this is a thing that exists.
I don't want like my opinion to like overshadow like how amazing it is, because it is amazing to watch. Like it's a marvel to see AI like make sentences that, you know, and conversations that mostly make sense. You know, boring as it may be, it's really fucking cool to see that, you know?
Yeah. It's wild. They're definitely trying to spin off the success a little bit. They opened up a Patreon. They've got merch now. They've been all over the internet, not only just links, but they've been interviewed by pretty much every major publication. I guess the big thing is like, how long is that going to last, right? Like, how long is that novelty going to exist for? They've been hovering around 10,000 viewers, I think, kind of since the past week. Hasn't really wavered, but a week from now, a month from now, when the press dies down, like, is it still going to be that? Is it going to start to, you know, half every couple of days? Well, I don't know where they're going to be viewership wise.
If it stays how it is, I think like exactly like Zeke was like alluding to, it's just going to be a novelty. Like it's not funny to watch long term. You watch it, just like you said, it's like, oh wow, this is crazy. This is a thing. You watch it for a little bit, it's not really that funny, and then you go do something else and you never go back because there's no reason to. But if it starts actually getting funny, if it's the kind of thing where we start seeing it make jokes and like actual funny things start happening, that could be dangerously entertaining. Like that could be wild. That could be the kind of thing where it's like, if there were enough funny moments, people just keep it on to wait for something funny to happen.
Yeah.
It's just right now there's really nothing funny happening. So
turn off make sense mode. Turn that off. I want to see the make sense mode off, and I want to see them just say, I know that's dangerous. I know it's dangerous because like I'm not sure how it works. I'm not sure how you feed in.
They might have said
like,
in the interviews
words.
what that means. Yeah, I haven't read it.
Yeah, maybe they have. I don't know. Can you treat it like a bot and like ban certain words from ever coming out of their mouth or whatever?
Yeah,
but
not sure.
I want to see them do like say some of the most off the wall absurd shit. And that's what I want to tune into. You know, that's when I want to start watching, is when, you know, Jerry tells George to, you know, hit himself in the face repeatedly with a cast iron skillet, and George does it. And just whatever they can come up with.
Yeah.
Also, they have certain things, certain props in the apartments that have interactability.
There's the microwave, I know.
Every time the microwave gets used, the chat just fucking explodes. It's insane. Well, I don't know if there's any other things that do that. What else, like in the show?
Isn't it because the microwave, for the noise for the microwave, they just have the AI saying over and over and over? Yeah.
Oh, is that why my chat is staying right now?
I think
that's what's going on.
I think that's where that noise is from. Is they don't talk over it; it just goes. And you hear the beeps. It does have
beeps though. Yeah. The beeps are not like voices, right?
No, I don't know.
It sounds like a real microwave beep.
Yeah, it's wild.
What I was gonna say, as far as like its longevity goes, I think it's gonna probably, in my like from other examples, I think it's gonna go the novelty route of like Bob Ross and stuff. It'll have a following. I think it'll have a solid following, but it's gonna have, you know, a bell curve. For sure. Well,
I think we'll also, before I jump to that point, I want to say I was looking around their Patreon. They have two tiers. One, it's $5 a month. Then there's one for $1,000 a month. And at $1,000 a month, they're going to create a character based on your appearance, and sometimes you'll appear in the show. And as soon as I read that, I looked on the chat. It's like, yeah, XQC bought that. And so he's eventually going to show up on the stream. So like that will probably also give it a little bit of longevity, is you'll start to see folks like that get their community into it
a month. $12,000 per year.
Yeah. So that's a little obscene. But the other thing I was going to say is that,
but like that's a commercial for him. That's like
here, that's 100% advertising.
60 seconds of ads. Now I'm going to be on this show for a year.
Yeah. That's like 15 seconds of ads. Yeah. I'm curious for the spinoffs, right? Like Seinfeld is one thing. Give me Bob Ross, where he just actually paints something
random
new.
paintings.
It's random, complete random paintings.
Random stuff says during it.
Like, yeah.
Oh my God, Bob Ross paints AI art.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then chat submits the art piece at the beginning, and they vote on like I want to see a duck wearing a sombrero riding a Tyrannosaurus, and Bob Ross is like, today we're gonna do a duck in a little hat riding a Tyrannosaurus Rex with his little tiny arms.
They need to do it in the art style of Seinfeld, but the art that he's painting is like fucking 10 out of 10s, like crazy ass AI art.
To be fair, it would have to be Rob Boss. Because there's no way that Bob Ross's name would do that. But I think Rob Boss could absolutely take Twitch by storm.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. Copycats will be fun whenever those spin up.
Somebody, Jeff in chat says, please just let him rest in peace.
I see your argument.
Don't do that to Bob.
I see your argument. But
I'm ready for the Nothing Forever spinoff of Pals.
Pals?
Friends.
Friends. Yeah. Okay. There's a lot they could do.
I would love to see that.
Yeah. They could do AI Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. They could do AI Married with Children. They could do so many different sitcoms there. I hope they do.
We have a lot of episodes. They could probably take like everything we've said.
Yeah, do an AI-driven
300
frames.
plus. Yeah, dude.
Why not?
I'd love to see that because it would boil it down to like our stereotypical, like what we normally say to each other. And I just bet that my AI person would just stutter and spit like the whole time, just like.
Do they? I didn't read any of the interviews, but it's got to be something similar to like a chat, whatever the big AI chat that everyone uses that you can go and like have it type essays or whatever.
Oh, Chat GPT.
Yeah, it's got to be similar to that, right? Like just create.
All we know is using it as a backend. I have no idea. I don't know.
I'm very curious what that would look like. You could probably. I bet you if you went to Chat GPT, you could say like, give me the script for a Drop Frames episode that's 3 hours long. And it would probably figure it out somewhat.
Now I have to do that immediately. Hold on.
I don't know if it can watch videos though, so I don't know what it will do if you tell it that. And we're going to find out right now live on air with Co.
Oh, apparently I have to sign up. So hold on.
Oh, okay.
I've never used it before.
I never have it as well. Is it an instant sign up?
I was able to sign up with Google.
Okay. All right.
Oh God, why does it want my phone number?
Oh, that's so it can also call you and tell you about your car insurance or whatever.
Super.
Yeah. It'll be busy.
I just connected my phone to Skynet. Great. Super.
We love that.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Okay.
A Dropped Frames episode script that can run for 3 hours.
Does it know what it is?
I have no idea. Oh, no. Unfortunately, as an AI language model, I cannot write an entire 3-hour script for a Drop Frames episode. Okay.
Shorten it.
Dropped Frames episode script featuring Carnage, It Me JP, and Ezekiel _III. All right, let's see.
Anything?
Oh, now I broke it. I think I broke the AI. I'll keep trying as we move on the conversation.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think you do have to go like back and forth with it.
Okay.
From what I've seen on the internets about it. Keep at it. We'll let you know. Or you let us know, and then we'll just stop talking and read the script. We'll pass it around and yeah. Anyways. Outside of the Seinfeld Forever stuff, kind of a slow week news-wise. We got a lot of delayed game announcements. Last of Us Part 1 PC. This one, a lot of these. Whenever I see a delayed game post, I'm always like, oh yeah, okay, they found bugs. They need something. They need time to work on QA, whatever. But The Last of Us 1 PC thing, it ends the week after the final episode of the show airs.
Oh my God! Wait, real quick. Do you know what Drop Frames talk show is? Yes, Drop Frames is a talk show that discusses various topics related to the video game streaming platform Twitch. It features guests who are popular Twitch streamers and industry experts, and hosts discuss various aspects of streaming, including technology, culture, and the future of the industry.
Now that could probably pull from our Twitter.
So it knows us.
Yeah. Well, I think it scrapes the internet, right? Or does it not scrape the internet?
I'm just surprised it has any idea what that is. Oh, here we go. Write an episode of Drop Frames. Title, The Future of Virtual Reality Gaming. Introduction. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Drop Frames. Today, we have a very special episode for you all as we dive into the exciting world of virtual reality gaming. Joining us today are some of the top experts in the field, and we'll be discussing the future of VR gaming, the challenges that come with it, and how it's changing the ways we play games. Segment 1, the state of VR gaming today. To start off, let's talk about where VR gaming stands. Can one of our guests give an overview of the current state of VR gaming? Guest 1. Sure,
Ronnie.
Thanks for having me. Currently, VR gaming is in a very interesting place. We're seeing a lot of advancement. Dude, it's just going. It's
Stop.
More and more.
Stop. I like my job here. I like my job here. I don't want to be replaced with AI because everybody knows I'll be the first one to go.
God, dude.
How long?
Stop reading right
there,
there, bud.
It's typing. Like it's actual type. It's typing out segment 3, the future of VR
You
gaming.
can can you show it on your camera?
No, unfortunately, it's not on that computer.
Oh, okay. You're on the.
Oh, wait. You
can desktop capture or something like that.
Yeah, hold on. I don't have that here. Give me one sec.
Okay. Live production within a production.
I need to make sure I don't show things I'm not supposed to.
Sure.
I'm going to scroll over.
Do the studio mode.
We know that's bad.
Yeah, do the old studio mode.
What is it? Monitor capture? I don't even know how do I use OBS? I don't even know how to use OBS anymore.
Studio mode.
Oh, here we go.
Capture.
Video capture device.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Add existing. I think it's done. I think it just finished. So it just finished. It was actually filling this in as I was typing.
That's flipped.
So if I do it again, let's do a new chat. And we'll do write.
That's not it.
Write me a dropped frames.
This? Nope. This.
Frames episode featuring Rami Ismail. Here we go. This is how it does it. Today we have a special guest, the co-founder of Lambeer, Rami Ismail. So let's get started. Wow. I didn't put that in there. It did that. Hello, Rami. Thanks for joining us today. Can you start by telling our audience a little bit about yourself and your work in the video game industry? Of course. I'm Rami Ismail, a game developer and co-founder of Lambeer, an independent game studio based in the Netherlands. We focus on creating innovative and entertaining games for players around the world. Lambeer is known for its critically acclaimed games like Nuclear Throne and Luftrausers. Can you tell us about the development process and inspired you to create games? Sure. At Lambeer, we believe in creating games that are not only fun to play, but also have a unique design and aesthetic. Nuclear Throne it's literally, it's what?
That's probably his wiki, right? I think that pulled his wiki.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, this is wild. You've been a strong advocate for diversity and representation in the video game industry. Can you tell us more about your work in this area? Definitely. The video game industry is a global and inclusive medium, and it's important that the games we create reflect that. See, this is based on his Twitter, which he talks about this stuff all the time. Oh my God, dude. This is
but where are the fart jokes? Where are the fart jokes in borderline offensive language? Like, yeah, they can't.
Right,
it's
a
not
Drop
doing the
Frames
I mean,
episode
it's not the
featuring
same.
Ezekiel
It's not
the
better.
Third's fart jokes.
No, go.
I'm sorry, but OpenAI policies do not allow the creation of explicit or offensive content. You win this time, Zeke!
That's true.
I can't be replaced.
Okay, that's enough of that.
God,
Hi, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, just to give you an idea, that's wild. Like it really does pull information from like everywhere, and then kind of just slowly amalgamates it on the screen for you in whatever format you just want it to get delivered to you. So that's wild,
You
man.
know,
It was even
thought about
crazier.
that, but
Oh, I was going to say there are coders that have integrated ChatGPT into their working. Like you can literally tell it like write this type of script in this language that can fit this type of medium using this container method, and it will just give you all the code and save you like hours of work.
Yeah.
Like it's wild. It's absolutely wild.
The conversation is definitely super old, but man, what I would have given to have that when I was in like high school English comp. Just give me an essay on so and so in the style of blank that's around 800 words. Enter. Like that's 100% a real problem right now.
Chad is saying, yeah. Well, one thing also is just like any AI system, you can't just get the results and take them at face value. You do have to go through them.
Yeah, it does spit out confidently incorrect things.
Like people in chat are bringing up the very good point that with the coding and stuff, it doesn't always work properly. Like you have to go through and still make sure that, everything is where it needs to be. And which is a great point.
Still though, I would have loved that.
Oh yeah.
Listening to that, like it gave me like an idea of, or it's like a tool that I could have used as like when I was doing the hosting shit.
Yeah.
Or generating questions that whoever was my guest probably had heard a million times. So like don't ask about that. Don't ask about that because they've answered this question 3 million times. It would help me come up with something fresh for them. And yeah, there's a lot of applications for that kind of shit in the real world, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not it exactly like using it, but like using it as a tool.
Right. I agree. It's definitely a wild thing for sure. I use Chat GPT to rewrite my cover letter. Sure. Why not? Right. Like, yeah. Why the fuck not? Would be a good use for D&D and general NPC dialogue. Yeah. You could definitely have it do a bunch of stuff. I know, I had definitely thought about it in terms of this is a really niche example, but I think you can use that stuff for niche things. You could have it write music for a like bard within D&D that you're playing, so that you don't actually have to like come up with music on the spot. You just have it, right? Like it is essentially on the spot, but you could just have it write that music for you. You just read it in real time.
I like the fact that AI is taking the place of creativity.
Yeah,
you don't need creativity anymore.
100%.
Well,
look at that.
You don't need to come up with anything on your own. You don't need to draw anything on your own. It's just it's easy.
Yeah, 100%. Anyways,
as long as it exists, that's the big thing.
What do you mean?
Well, like anything AI art, ChatGPT, it just pulls from the internet. So as long as it exists, it can be creative there. But what you don't see this stuff doing yet is coming up with its own stuff, which arguably the most creative people are frequently coming up with their own stuff. So AI is never going to replace that kind of thing. But it's as it gets better and better at what it does, it becomes more and more deceptive. So it's a definitely interesting thing.
I wonder how many like scripts are being sent to agents and everything in Hollywood right now that are just AI written or AI assisted. Well, very curious how that is.
Also, for the record, I absolutely should not have used the word never, because you're right. One day it will probably be able to come up with its own stuff. Even if it's just taking predefined things and combining them to make things that haven't been done before. Like that kind of stuff absolutely could be done.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be a thing.
Yeah. So I was reading a lot of people have a lot of opinions about this. It's interesting to read too.
It's a super new, interesting medium.
Yeah. It's very, very hot conversation, I think, on the internet for sure. Especially once you dive into whole like artist AI created art and all that stuff. It gets pretty intense quickly. So let's move on with the news. We're talking about game delays. Last of Us 1 PC port got delayed to March 28th. This one 1 week after the final episode of the show. So I feel like that's a marketing change, and less.
I didn't realize it was done.
Yeah, that one's kind of weird. What was the other one? Star Wars Jedi Survivor is now coming out on the 28th. is when that'll launch. And then
this month?
No, March. Sorry, April. April 28th is when it got pushed. Yeah. And then I think that was it.
Oh, there's one more.
What's the other one?
And it's doing something very interesting.
What's that?
Sons of the Forest, which is the next iteration of the Forest. They already delayed their game to February 23rd, I want to say. And they've been very quiet until the 23rd, so everyone was expecting another delay. But they announced something different. They said, okay, here's the deal. We don't want to delay our game again. So instead of delaying our game again for a 1.0, we're going to go ahead and release Sons of the Forest in early access. So what we're going to get is a nearly completed Sons of the Forest in early access. And I don't know if they've yet announced if they're going to adjust the pricing to reflect that or not. But they are going to go ahead and release basically just what they've got on their release date because they didn't want to delay again. And it's been interesting because a lot of people have been very torn on that. Personally, considering the Forest 1 was one of the best early access success stories ever. Like, I think if there's any company that could get away with something like this, it's these guys. I mean, Forest 1 was amazing. Like, in terms of like, they stuck with that game for years and years and years and turned it into something awesome. So I'm totally fine with them doing that with this. Honestly, it's kind of like, why didn't you guys just do this at the beginning? Like, you know, like, I guess they wanted to release a 1.0, but just realized that it was a bit out of their scope. Also, for the record, there have been a bunch of previews of Sons of the Forest, and they've been very favorable. Yeah. Like, they're doing, like, Sons of the Forest is doing a lot of cool things. They're putting in a new system where there's an AI companion if you play single player, and the AI companion, you can order him to do harvesting and stuff for you. So while you're off adventuring, he will like harvest whatever you need, bring it back to your base. You get back to your base and you can like build and stuff, and then go off adventuring again while he collects stuff again. So there's some really cool things it's trying to do. So if all that works, it's going to be great.
Nice. How long was the delay? Did you mention that at the start? Because like they're launching.
There's no delay. Yeah,
well, I know they're launching early access, but like when does it fully launch? Then I guess is what.
I don't think they mentioned that.
Oh, okay. So sorry, I misunderstood. I thought that they were just putting it out whenever, and then they were going to launch, a month after that. But they're just putting it in early access.
The 1.0 was supposed to be the 23rd, and now what they're doing is the 23rd is now early access, and it's going to be done when it's done.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, from their Steam page. It's been a long journey since we first started Sons of the Forest development. It's grown into the biggest, most complex game we've ever made. There's still so much more we want to add: items, new mechanics, gameplay, balance, more. We didn't want to delay again, so have instead decided to involve the community in the continued development of this project and keep our February 23rd release date, but instead release in early access.
Cool. Okay. Yep. It's not. Yeah, it's not that different. Then they're just launching early access, which is
to
fine.
Be fair though. Forest 1, when they released early access of Forest 1, it wasn't a game. It was literally a collection of game mechanics. Like, there was no story. There was barely there was like nothing there. So of course that one took like 5 to 8 years. This early access we're getting of Sons of the Forest, like, they were going to release it on the 23rd. So from the sounds of it, like, most of the stuff it's going to be a lot meatier than when I wouldn't expect like a 5 to 6 year development cycle. Like, from the sounds of it, they may get it out by the end of the year kind of thing if they get everything in they want. That they want to. So, yeah.
Cool. We also had a bunch of live service games canned in the past weekish. Gamatsu tweeted Apex Legends Mobile, the bigger ones, Apex Legends Mobile, Battlefield Mobile, a game called Crime Site, Crossfire X, Dragon Quest, The Adventure of Die, Heroes Bond, Echo VR, Knockout City, Love Live, which I guess is some idol game called Love Live School Idol Festival, and then Rumbleverse, which we've talked about on the show considerable amount, I would say.
Yeah, very sad about Rumbleverse. That game was actually fun. Like, I'm disappointed that one's leaving.
Yeah.
Real quick, what's an idol game?
I'm not answering that on. So go Google it. That's a long answer.
The general consensus with an idle game is that the tagline is that they kind of play themselves. So you make some choices, and then the gameplay loop cycles without you needing to like have hands-on stuff on it. And then you make some more choices.
It's IDOL, not IDLE.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you meant IDLE.
No, I mean like.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, now I know what that is. I played Yakuza, so I know what that is.
Yes, okay, that does.
Okay, I don't know what an idol.
I played the Haruka storyline, so I know what an idol.
Oh, that's the waifu game.
Yeah, they're waifu games. Yeah,
okay.
That's
all you had to say.
Well, it's not.
I was confused in the idol.
It's not that I'm like embarrassed of the content. It's that it's a longer explanation of why the fuck idol games exist. At least for me, maybe not for everyone. Yeah,
I'm still stuck on like why anime is such a huge genre of all kinds of different stories and stuff all kind of looks alike. Like, I guess that's part of the thing.
I gotta go.
Part of the appeal.
I gotta get out of this clip here. Please direct all tweets to running back for the Dallas Cowboys, Ezekiel _
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Ezekiel Elliott.
I'm staying out of this one.
Yeah. Jeez. EA obviously canceling a lot of this stuff. Apex Legends Mobiles, I think, was like received very well in terms of like a mobile port, but I don't think it had that much of the market share. And so EA was like, "Nah, we're done. We're out. Get us out of here. We're pulling the ripcord." I think PUBG just dominates the mobile market way too much. That and Call of Duty as well with Warzone. So both of those got canned or are in the process of getting canned. Bunch of games selling well. It Takes Two crossed over 10 million copies sold, which potentially means 20 million people have played that game, which is kind of wild to consider. Just the origins of that game and it being kind of like one of the EA, whatever they call their like indie program. Little insane. God of War Ragnarok sold through 11 million.
I missed it. Which game was that?
It Takes Two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then God of War Ragnarok sold through 11 million copies. No surprise there. And there was one other. Capcom just like
the fastest selling PlayStation game of all time now. Is
it? I don't know.
I saw a headline that said fastest selling, and it might have been God of War Ragnarok, but I'm not.
Could be. It's either that or like Spider-Man. A lot of things. Yeah, it's either that or Spider-Man for sure. And then that's kind of it. It was kind of a slower week. Just a lot of cancellations, a lot of game delays, and not much. Unless I'm missing things. Chad, anything we should bring up?
You are we still talking about dead games of services or whatever?
Sure, yeah.
Sure.
Okay. No, that back for Blood like just went like it was here for how long and then
die?
It's not dead. It is dying. They announced that they're done putting out content for it and they're moving on to the next thing. I saw that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, the Titanfall thing. Yeah.
That was right. Yeah.
No, apparently here's the thing though. Everyone said it was a Titanfall like related project, but from the sounds of it, it was more Apex Legends.
Right.
Like it was more Apexy. Like basically, I think I in one of the leaks I read, so take it with a grain of salt. But it was basically like a single player adventure where like the Titan from Titanfall 2 was in it, but there was also like Apex Legend champions and you like played alongside them and it was some kind of weird like, you know, play with your favorite Apex characters kind of thing. It was not like Titanfall 3.
Well, they're the same
or something like that.
They're the same universe though. So it kind of is, but I see what you're saying. It's not like,
they were merging their IPs.
Yeah. Square Enix was out there announcing that they have declining financial things. They're planning multiple new IPs, new games, including new IP. So, but I feel like they're going to have a crazy year. Square has like a history of games selling infinitely well, like what I think Tomb Raider, and then them saying like, no, this was a failure. This didn't perform like we wanted it to. And so I wonder how much of that is in this, but they're about to have a crazy year with what? Final Fantasy 16. They've got Final Fantasy 7 Remake, whatever else they put out. They've got their smaller games with like, Rebirth. They got a lot of stuff. I feel like they're going to be fine. I wouldn't read too much into that.
Well, no, they're going to be fine, and then they're going to announce that Final Fantasy 16 didn't meet expectations. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth did not hit their projections. And then, sell the company to Sony.
Yeah, we joked about the idea of selling to Sony, but like, do they even need to do that? Like, aren't they practically so intertwined that would, like, why? Everything releases on PlayStation to begin with.
Same reason we lost Deus Ex, JP.
Money. Is that, but it would cost them money to get the same thing.
No, money.
Is it just the idea of like, oh, we could spend money? Oh, spending money. That's a good thing.
Money.
Yeah, maybe so.
Money.
Maybe so.
Just wait till their NFTs drop, yo. It's gonna be awesome.
God, yeah, that's probably why they fucking lost money. Because they're just pushing that shit nonstop.
Yeah, wait, bro.
Yeah. Zeke, were you gonna say something? I felt like you were trying to jump in there, and am I imagining that?
No,
okay.
It's no, never mind.
All right. Speaking of Zeke, Metal Gear series has now sold over 59.5 million copies. That was announced. Kind of crazy, consider that. But been a lot of games, so why not? But
is it just like it like trickled past the 59 million mark, and someone was watching, going like, "All right, we should write about it now."
Yeah.
Like, it hasn't had a Metal Gear game since what was the last
5.
Metal Gear game?
It was 5,
yeah. And that was how long ago?
5 and 5 was a little messy.
4 years, 5 years ago,
something like that. Yeah,
I'm gonna say more than that. Oh, Survive. We can't forget Survive.
Oh God, that was like, yeah, fuck, Survive.
I know we all tried to.
God, I forgot Survive existed. I had forgotten that on good reason. The rest of the world should as well.
Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah, what a nightmare there.
It's Kojima's 76. Well, it's not really Kojima's, I guess I should say, but yeah.
Yeah. Monster Hunter Rise announced they sold 12 million units worldwide. That's what happens when you release a game 3 times. It's going to do well. And then, did you guys catch that day before trailer they put out?
Did. I actually watched the gameplay loop. Went through it and it out.
What'd you think?
I think that it's definitely a game.
Oh, okay. That's where the conversation is it a game?
Yeah.
I think it's probably a game.
I am out of the loop on that meme. I've just seen like the viral tweets about it. Yeah. About like, this is not a thing. This is not a game.
Basically the devs, okay, it in one of the most ridiculous things that has ever been done by a PR company, they first made it seem like a blessing to its fans that we were getting gameplay a few weeks before the release date. Like, we've cleared it with the developers after some back and forth, and after we put some nails through their foreheads, they finally agreed to let us show you some gameplay. And it's just like, okay. And then when it was just about to release, they put up this big thing about how, because they couldn't get the copyright, because somebody snaked the copyright from them,
right,
they were delaying the game by 9 months.
Yeah. And that's also why they had to pull it from Steam.
So then after everyone was like, okay, this is clearly at this point a joke. Like, there's no actual game. They're like, no. There is an actual game, and we will show you 10 minutes of gameplay. And that's what came out a little bit ago. And if you watch it, it looks like a generic zombie shooter. A lady running around, and she loots some stuff and shoots some zombies, and it's a game.
So basically you're saying it's the equivalent of
she does have a nice area.
The kid who keeps coming up with like, dog ate my homework excuses. It's like, the dog ate it. I had it all done. It was ready to show you. And the dog ate it.
Sort of.
Like, I was showing a friend on the bus and it blew out the window.
Kind of. I mean, but as you can see, like, there's clearly something there. Now, of course, is anything there beyond what we see in this gameplay trailer? We have no idea. Like, they could have thrown this gameplay trailer together in the last month to show their gameplay. Like, nobody knows. And that's the problem. They've eroded trust so much with the gaming community that even when people, dude, it's crazy. People can watch this and still go, this doesn't exist. And it's like, but you're looking at it. It exists. And they're like, nay, that's how little trust I have in this company. This is ChatGPT made it.
There you go. It was AI coded. What? Let me pull up the original video that they had, because doesn't that look like pretty different?
I couldn't even tell you.
Let's see.
So I'm glad someone else said The Last of Us, because just a real quick aside. I've been playing Marvel Midnight Suns off stream, just as my off stream game. Yeah. And I look at that and I'm looking like all these games coming out, like they are really, really like games are really paying attention to the ass, and I am all about it. I am just saying kudos, good job, keep it up. Like, give me all the ass and do not be shy, because that's great. Because Marvel, I swear to God, Marvel Midnight Suns especially, it's like Tarantino and feet. It's like they really did workshop the asses of the heroes in that game.
To me, Zeke, all I heard right there is I don't play MMOs, nor do I play female characters in MMOs. That's what you just said to me.
Okay, sure, fair enough. Fair enough.
The ass game has been on point for
how about this then? Maybe what I meant to say was I'm glad that the MMO ass game is leaking into other games that are not MMOs.
True. Yeah. That's also true.
Like, I'll tell you this. I don't remember any of the story of Nier Automata. Almost none of it. Because I was like, all right, log into the game. First thing I do, self-destruct. Excellent. Now I can play the game.
There you go.
Because it blows up all of our fucking other.
Yeah. Anyways, leaking ass. It happens. Gotta be careful. You gotta be prepared for anything these days. Let's talk video games.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's been a while. Let's just move to video games. It's been a while. Zeke, you got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're gonna start with you. Then we're gonna take small little breaks. Does that work for you? We'll do some CD-ROM-a-thon, and then we'll just insert some other things in between and come back.
That sounds fantastic. I love it.
Great. Let's do it. Preface CD-ROM-a-thon for folks that aren't aware, and then
sure.
Should we just do? You pick what we talk about. Let's do that. I'll throw it to you. You can pick about whatever. I'll find the VODs for it.
I really wanted to be prepared. I got distracted as I want to do, but I really wanted to have a list of all the games, all the CD-ROMs that I played from day one to now.
Yeah,
and I didn't do it. So
your VOD archive kind of does that. We've got stuff.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah, 20.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Cool. So CD-ROM-a-thon is something that came out of me. I wanted to do a theme month, and I was always jealous of Dan's Gaming, who is a friend of mine, of course, but I was always jealous of him doing horror month, because he always does well, but his numbers really jump during horror month. So I'm like, fuck, what can I do that's like a horror month that people would look forward to every year, right? So I tried one. I tried Cocktober, which was I know, but it's on brand for me.
When did you try?
It's on brand. This was years ago. This was 6 or 7 years ago, if not more.
Okay.
But it was on brand for me because I was playing games that were overly sexualized, sexploitation. Like Lollipop Chainsaw, where you play as a cheerleader the whole time. Things that were just like B-movie over sexualized, like Russ Meyer movies. If you know who that is and you're old. But it ended up not going very well. And I'm like, okay, what else can I do? And then I twigged upon the idea of doing an oldies but goodies month. And that went okay. And then I tried to do a CD-ROM game, and people just fucking loved it. They just fucking loved the installs of it. Like how much it brings you back, not playing the game or as much as getting it to fucking work on your computer. Like that part has so much nostalgia, not only for me, but for a ton of people out there. And we've joked on probably on this show and definitely on my channel about how like I will install a game for like 4 hours and then get the game running and then lose half my viewers, because that's the fun for a lot of people. It's just watching it, like trying to get it to work. And while we had a little bit of that this year,
someone in my chat, this is the perfect description, Zeke, and you should use this whenever you have to describe it. It's like old men watching construction sites.
Oh, yep. Just sitting there with their cigarette, like their coffee, like retired, like that's gonna fall apart in 2 years. He didn't secure that truss.
Yeah.
Back in my day, my supervisor never let me get away with that shit. Yeah. You know, and that's what people are doing. Like when I have a problem with something, I have like 71 guys. Everybody has a fucking different like a workaround or a different solution and shit. And I love it. Not only because I'm willing to try anything, like whatever outlandish idea, because every once in a while, like the weirdest shit ends up making it work. But also I relish the opportunity to scream at people and yell at people and berate them when their shit doesn't work.
When they're wrong. Okay.
Yeah, when they're totally wrong, or when they suggest something that has already been tried like an hour ago because they just got here. Like, hey, did you try this? Oh, love it, love it.
That's prime meat.
CD-ROMathon ended up being a very fun thing because of those elements. Not only the nostalgia of the game, but the nostalgia of trying to get shit to work. You got to patch it. You gotta you gotta you have to download programs that you haven't thought about in fucking years, like it's the something doctor that gives Windows 95 256-bit color or 256 colors. It's come on, Display Doctor. There it is.
All right,
you got to download fucking Display Doctor, dude, to get it to run 256 at 8x6 resolution and shit like that. You got to put it on your OS. It's just that's the fun of it. And it's these sites still exist. These programs still exist for people because other people love doing that too.
Yeah.
I can't believe how many like recent posts there are trying to get a fucking 20-year-old game to work, like on original, on original hardware, like game hardware. People have often asked me why I don't just get an old computer. And the reason why I don't get an old computer and just run it off of that is because sometimes games don't run on run well on one OS. It behooves me to have 3, 4 different, sometimes 5 different operating systems to get a game to run, because sometimes the 4th one is the one. I'll try it on DOS, Scum, I'll try it on 98, and then 95 with these settings, got it to work, and that's why I can't do it on an old computer. I would love to, but it's just not feasible.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why I just don't download them on GOG or something.
That's one of my other favorites. Like, why don't you just play it over there? Or if it's not on the GOGs or Steams or whatever, they said they love to tell you oh, you can just get the ISO from blah blah blah.
The ISO, yeah. Do you use a lot of daemon tools or daemon tools? Do you use that at all for the mounting?
No.
How do you mount the ISOs then?
I don't. I play them off the disc.
Yeah, he doesn't. That's the whole point. There's no ISOs. It's all off.
However,
but isn't that what's installed on the disc is just an ISO?
I mean, technically, an ISO is a data file of what is on a disk. So when you mount the ISO, you're faking putting the disk in your computer to your OS.
Oh, okay. I see.
Daemon Tools takes an ISO and makes it like what a physical disk would read in the computer. So, gotcha. I mean, a mounted ISO is the same as a physical disk in the computer's mind.
Got it. Right.
So this has become it's become a problem and will continue to be a problem, unfortunately, because hardware wears out sometimes if it's not taken care of. Like a disc, I don't know the actual life of a CD, but it runs the risk more and more as more time goes on of getting what they call CD rot. Now, CD rot, if you're not familiar, is this. See that little squiggle?
Mm-hmm.
A little black squiggle. Now, that is the mylar reflective surface, it's not the plastic surface of the disc. It's the mylar reflective surface that holds all the information. It's moisture gets in there and rots it, meaning eats it. It's rotten. It's gone.
Yeah.
So if that happens, this disc is no longer usable. It is fucked, which happened to 2 of my discs from
bummer.
Phantasmagoria. And you can see it like it rots all the way through. You can see me through it. Yeah, that's what happened. That's CD rot. Now, what I had to do, we can just start here because this was a fun little thing. Speaking of ISOs, this is one of those times where I downloaded the ISO of disc 1 and disc 7 of Phantasmagoria, which I just recently played. And so I got that. I got the program that Imgburn, I don't know how you say it. Image burn, whatever.
Image burn, probably.
Yeah, IMG burn was the name of the program. And I had to do this. Remember doing this?
Yeah,
writing on discs.
Oh, of course.
What they were.
Yeah.
So I had to not only get a writable disc, I had to get a verbatim CD rewritable disc, and I had to get the ISO, and I burned it onto a disc so I could play it off of the fucking disc, which is in the spirit of CD-ROM-a-thon. And people were like, oh, you download the ISO, though. And I'm like, listen, it was either that or not play it. And I would posit that this is actually deeply in the spirit of CD-ROM-a-thon, because I bet there was people out there who had to do the exact same thing back in the day when their disc cracked or broke and they didn't want to buy an entire new game for one disc. I am sure there are people out there who had to do that shit. So we did that. We burned it. We verified it, which, man, we had patience, didn't we? Didn't we have patience back then? Boy, did we. Because, waiting, I had to wait, I don't know how long it was, but I think it was like a full 10 minutes to burn it and verify. And the verifying took longer than the burning.
Oh, yeah. A friend of mine used to burn dual layer DVDs back in the day, and that shit, it took a long fucking time. You tried to get the fastest one possible, and it got more and more expensive as you went up. This is early 2000-ish, I want to say, something like that.
And this kind of stuff brings up shit that we remember, nostalgic feelings and memories of me working at the coffee stand. I would get up because it was I'd get up early. I'd be there at 5:30 a.m. to get the ice and then open the shop by 6. So I'd get up at 5. I'd throw on a hat and brush my teeth, and I'd go out to my computer and I'd set my computer to download 3 episodes of 6 Feet Under. And then I work all day, and I come back, and 1.5 of them were done by the time I got back. And I was like, oh shit, man, it's cruising today. The speeds are up today. It's going fast.
Yeah.
Hey, Zeke, real quick,
that kind of shit, for sure.
Somebody in chat asked, is CD-ROM-a-thon still going? Would love to tune in.
No, it's the month of January every year. It's the 5th. It was the 5th annual. So I can't believe been doing this for 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So it's the entire month of January. The VODs will be up on most of them should already be up on Twitch.
They are. Yeah.
You have to go to the highlights section and not the past broadcast, because we take out Scott takes out the breaks, the commercial breaks, and stuff like that, and has them in like hour and a half chunks. But yeah, so yeah, we played. This was the I usually extend CD-ROM-a-thon for a couple of days, because unforeseen circumstances throughout the month caused me to miss days or whatever. So I played it up until the 3rd. So I played it in 3 days into February. But I thought for a nice treat, the last game should be a game that I played before, but someone was nice enough to send it to me on CD-ROM. So it was worth another look. Phantasmagoria. It's not as mature content as I remember. It's a lot of like bad jokes and bad acting and stuff like that. You don't get any of that awesome like B-rate horror flick stuff until like disc 7. Like up to disc 6, it's just like a fun FMV point and click and especially this guy. This guy is like he's like the stereotypical, like he was he won an award at his community theater. It's like, oh, let's get that guy. Hey, what's up, Toots? Broad coming into my office. Like he's one of those like stereotypes.
Right.
And he's got like
I talk to my moms.
Yeah, exactly. And he has if you look behind him, there's an Easter egg. He has like swimsuit photos of ladies in swimsuits that are taken from Leisure Suit Larry 6. A little Easter egg yeah, I know, it's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this guy was fun. Like a lot of it was fun, but then the last disc is all just like it's all the gore and all the shit, like a demon rips your face in half. A big like swinging pendulum scythe comes and like splits your fucking head in two and shit like that. So all of the stuff is backloaded on the very last disc. Up till then, it's just kind of like, a regular old point and click with some bad acting and fun. It's funny. Don't get me wrong, it's funny, but it's no Harvester, which, man, I gotta play that again. I don't know if I can get the CD-ROMs for that, but that might be the treat, the cherry on top for next year. If I can find it.
The finisher. Play some Harvester.
Perhaps.
Yeah,
that's
well, I was gonna say a lot of those games end in like ER back then. Like you got Tormentor, Harvester, all of the ERs in the late 90s. Yeah.
Trespasser.
Yeah, all of them. What else? So this was Phantasmagoria. Let's do one more, and then we'll jump to something Toa's played or something like that. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
What else?
Dealer's choice. Go ahead. Just.
Oh, you want me to just let me? Okay.
Yeah, just pull one out of the VOD. Go be my guest.
Let's do Beast Within, because I think last week is when you were either you're promoting that you were going to go back and finish it or play it, or you're already in the middle of playing it. Let's talk that.
Yep. The Beast Within, a Gabriel Knight mystery.
How long did that one take to get running first? Let's start there.
Not very long at all, and I'll tell you why. Well, actually, you know what? It would run right away. However, I added some install time and text time on it because one of the caveats that I will allow that we didn't have back then probably is if it makes the game more accessible for people or easier to be entertained by, trying to get a subtitle track to work. So we spent like a good couple of hours.
Did these games ship natively with
subtitles
back then?
No subtitles.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah.
No subtitles whatsoever. So we tried to get that like a subtitle patch to work, and I think I spent 2, maybe 3 hours on it and could never get it to work. So just like fuck it, whatever. So we ended up just starting it from there. But Gabriel Knight, I played like an hour of the first one or something like that, and it didn't really grab me for whatever reason. People love it, and people have often said, like, you got to give it another chance, you got to get past it, and it's like one of the better point and clicks that they've played and stuff, so maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it or something, whatever. But this game, it starts off real strong. It has, like, this undertone of, like, werewolves, like they don't really like come out and say it for a while. They're like, oh, this wolf, this hair comes from a hybrid of something, a wolf and something else, and yada yada yada. So they like dance around this idea of werewolves and shit, and you're following this trail of murders, and you're like trying to put together a pattern. It's a very like detective-y kind of a point and click. Also, Gabriel Knight, the guy who's playing it, he could give like George Clooney lessons in smugness. Like his fucking smug is fucking the gold.
Is this Gabriel
standard.
Knight on the right, or
yeah, he's a long-haired guy with a real
go with that
with real kissable lips. Yeah, that's Gabriel Knight.
Got it.
But dude, like his like Louisiana accent that he puts on, and he's very much like, oh yeah, maybe I'll try that. Like just fucking, it's hard to see with the smug cloud, like just blocking him the whole time. But like that's fun though. That's his character, and that's very fun. It was very fun to watch. But I ran into like disc 4. Now in this game, you switch back and forth between Gabriel Knight and oh god, I can't remember her name. I want to call her Grace. Is it Nakamura? Grace Nakamura. I wanted to call her the name that Gabriel gives her in the book. He calls her like Fujitsu in the actual in-game book that he writes.
Huh.
He writes a book about his first voodoo adventure, and he names Grace, a real person, puts her in the book, but calls her Fujitsu. That's what I want to call her, because Fujitsu is a way funner name to say than Grace. But so Grace is in it.
Okay.
You switch back and forth between Gabriel Knight and Grace, and that sucks and it's stupid. And I hate it because Gabriel Knight is fun to watch. He's on the trail of these werewolves, and you go to Grace, and she's doing fucking history lessons. She goes to museums and she looks at paintings, and
they gave her all the boring parts.
Fuck, boy, did they! Holy shit! And not only that, but she is an absolute fucking bitch for no reason. She is an asshole from the jump to everybody around her. And it's just like, it's unnecessary. Like, she's just real fucking mean to everybody she comes in contact with. For some reason, I don't know why. But then she eventually softens up a little bit, but just right off the bat, you're like, why are you so angry? Like, there's no reason for you to be so fucking angry. But that's kind of where I stopped playing it. Was disc 4 is just her walking from place to place doing history shit. We're learning about Ludwig II, and we just get his entire fucking life story that I could give a shit about. I was just trying to speed through it so I get back to Gabriel Knight, and then you get back to Gabriel Knight, and he's feeding sausages to tigers, and I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to do. I don't want to look at books and paintings and learn stuff.
Yeah.
I want to feed my white sausage to a tiger. Oh, by the way, it's a white sausage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a very important distinction.
White sausage.
Sure.
Yum.
Yes.
Great.
White sausage.
Love it.
But then I kept going with it, and it just like, it lost me. Like, I didn't finish it because it just got to the point where I was just like, I do not give a shit about this history. I don't give a shit about this relationship. I want more fucking werewolf shit, and you're not giving it to me. I'm done.
How many hours in was that?
I want to say like I gave it a stream and a half. So probably like 11, 12, something like that.
Huh. Okay.
But
that's a lot. I
mean, it's 6 discs of, all that shit. And it just wasn't appealing to me. Like it needs something other than, I'm sure there's people who are history buffs who would like it, who would enjoy that, especially more specifically German history buffs, because it takes place in Germany. And Bavaria and all that shit. So if you like that kind of history and that appeals to you, great game. Other than that, like if you want, werewolves and a detective mystery story, like less of that. There's less of that than you.
All right, that works out for.
I'm glad I checked it out because it does have its merit. And I'll tell you this: if I played it back then, when it originally came out in 1995. 1995, which is almost 30 years ago now.
Man, that don't say that. Wow. That's so long.
Yeah. If I played it back then, like I said, we had more patience. I would have definitely been okay with, giving it more time. But now I'm just too spoiled. And I'm sure a lot of you out there would be the same. If you go back to other games from, 20 plus years ago, you go,
yeah,
fuck, man, we put up with this. Like I find myself saying that a lot. Like, shit, we put up with this.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's true. It's true. Co, we'll take a quick break. We'll jump back to Seed Around. What else? What have you been playing? What should we jump into?
I finished Chained Echoes.
Okay. We've talked about it a little bit. I saw your tweet. Do you want to regurgitate your tweet for commentary on the game? And then I'll pull up some VODs, sure. Although I'm going to have to pull up some. Thank you for that.
So, yeah, absolutely. So, TLDR, Chained Echoes is awesome. It is fantastic. It now that I'm done with it, I think it would have been in my top 3 last year.
Yeah?
Yep.
Top 3, really?
I think it probably would have edged out Horizon Forbidden West for a few important reasons. But it is an absolutely awesome example of a retro RPG that has like some current day QOL. The story was phenomenal. There were many, many, many twists and turns throughout the whole thing. There were reveals all over the place. The character customization was really, really good. Like you have a bunch of characters you can choose from. There's lots of customization in terms of how you use them. You frequently have more abilities than you can use. So you have to par down and figure out what works. There's a mech combat. There's ground combat. There is tons of secrets. There's tons of side content. There's multiple ways to easily get around it. You move super quick, so it cuts down on travel time. My biggest complaint about the game would probably be that they have like the glimpse of this really cool gem system, but the implementation was a little bit rough. Where you unless you were doing like end game upgrades and stuff, like the gem system seemed super cool, but I just never really got into it because it was kind of heavy handed and not really.
Did it not benefit you that much? Because I felt like early on it was. There were some really serious, cool benefits to it, but the problem is when you changed a weapon, it penalized you heavily to move things between them. That's why I didn't like. Yeah,
it had this convoluted system where they had the system was just the system had about honestly, the gem system in this game is a good example of over engineering a game mechanic, where it would have been a lot more interesting if it were simpler and it were more intuitive, instead of like how complex. And it is so complex that most of the people I've talked to just don't deal with them.
Yeah,
and that sucks.
I'm seeing that a lot in my
chat. It's a super cool system. Yeah, it's a super cool system.
Yeah,
it's not a case of not realizing that you could use them for 60-70% of the game, and then finding out on disc 2 that's like, oh shit, I could have been doing this the whole time. Well, it's not like that.
It's kind of like that, funny enough, but you could make that discovery at any point in the game. Like the thing is the complexity of the system does not warrant the bonuses you get, is the short of it. And it's so deep and vast that it's like you never really have the right gems at the right levels you need to do what you want to do. So again, I feel like it would have been, if for Chained Echoes 2, please, I very much hope they simplify and streamline that system. Like it'd be incredible, for instance, if the gem system was independent of your weapons and it was more like a Final Fantasy VII materia system.
That'd be good.
You always had your gems equipped, and then upgrading and changing them were passive effects that were just it didn't matter what weapon you were using. Like if they were put in a bracelet or a bangle or something, that your character always wore. Like that would make it really something cool and interesting. And again, more importantly, worth the time of really diving into, but it just wasn't. Also, some of the UI stuff was a little less than great when you're buying and selling items. It just wasn't really intuitive. But these are literally like small things. Like all of the meat, exactly. All of the meat of this game was really, really good. And I was blown away. Like I when I started playing Chained Echoes, I was like, I'll try it for a stream or two and see how it is. 30 plus hours later, and I'm beating it, and I'm just like, damn, that was worth every single minute I spent in that game. And there was a ton of post-game content I didn't do. There was a lot of side stuff I could have continued doing. So it's like and for the value, for the cost of it, it's just, again, it's the one of the hidden gems of 2022, and I wish more people knew about it.
Yeah, I agree too. In terms of the
funny story. You see those flies right there?
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know where you're going.
You know about this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The audience doesn't know. Please continue.
Okay.
Let them know.
So if you see, something fun about this game is that every item in the game has a description. And if you see, these are called, I think they're called box flies. And as you'll see here, these little box flies come up and they take their little boxing gloves and they, drill them across your face, and you're constantly getting smacked by these. Right here, you can see the little boxing gloves.
Yeah, they're punching you in the face.
Yeah, they're punching you in the face, and just all right up in it.
Yeah.
So if you read the description, they drop an item called boxing glove, right? And you read the description of the boxing glove, and it goes, after further examination, you actually realize that these are not boxing gloves at all, but the creature's testicles.
Yep.
That's one of the first things I saw in the game. Like, I played it for like 2 hours, and I was like, did that just say what I think it said?
Yeah. And every time I fought them since then, I just stare at them, and I'm like,
they're foul creatures.
I might have said this when I discovered it when I was streaming it, but there's actually kind of precedent for that, because that's what spiders do. Male spiders, they do their business on their little front hands called pedipalps, and then they get all their pedipalps all covered with their seed.
Oh, that's the
they kind of punch it into the female.
Okay.
All right.
I know. Spiders are rad, dude.
Yeah, you learn something new.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah. How do you follow that up? I mean, what
you don't is what you do, JP.
I want to know. Someone in my chat first thing. Someone in my chat said that the devs are possibly working on the gem system. I don't know if that's confirmed or anything.
We'll have to wait till Coe puts his headphones back.
My headphones are on. Say that one more time.
Okay.
I was comparing my lack of locks. I missed them.
Zeke said that the devs are apparently working on the gem thing.
I have no idea.
Okay.
So one guy.
When we say devs, it is one guy, right? Like one guy made this.
So here's how it works. One guy has been working on this game for like 5+ years. His name is Matthew Linda, I believe. He's a super cool guy, and he was the mastermind, the brainchild, and the person that was pushing this project along for a long time.
And it was Kickstarter,
in the credits,
right?
Yes, and published by Deck 13, which is a relatively large publishing company.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit weird, because I feel like they should have done a lot more work on the PR for this game, to be honest. But that being said, when you roll credits in the game, there are a sizable amount of people that help in the game. He did not do every, there was like musicians and people that helped out. So there were multiple chefs in the kitchen. He was just by far the head chef, so, but there, at this point, he has he has people helping him.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Matthias Linda. Thank you.
There you go. I'm trying to, so the last time I think I told you I stopped right after Act 1.
Act 1.
Yeah. So like it kind of, there's a lot of shit that happens there at the end. And then Act 1 kind of starts, and it's a little loosey-goosey.
Compared to the later stuff, it's like nothing.
Yeah, I could.
Oh my god,
I could totally see why that would be. But I do intend to go back to it at some point. It plays very, very well on Steam Deck. It's almost the perfect Steam Deck game for me, at least. It's super easy just to jump into, play for 30 minutes, and then put down until the story kind of grabs you. Then you have a hard time putting it down, but. Yeah, it's also on Game Pass for anyone curious that wants to check it out. And then, Coe, I think you also it's $30. That's what it runs default on Steam.
I believe so. Let me double check that real quick.
Cool.
Chained Echo $24.99, so it's $25.
Oh, is it on sale or that's just the price?
Everything's always on sale on Steam, isn't it?
True.
But in this case, it is not on sale. It is default price $24.99.
There you go.
Oh, so the someone on a Steam forum said was talking about the gem system.
Yeah,
and the developer responded saying, "Thank you for all the feedback. I will look into making the crystal system smoother. Other things have a bit higher priority, so please don't expect it in the upcoming patches. Cheers."
There you go.
So he's aware. They're aware of it. The other thing was because you've been playing it for a while. How long? How many hours did it take?
A little over 30, I think. My total.
Okay, I thought it was going to be way longer than that, but
It can be. There's absolutely more content. There's tons and tons of side stuff. 36.1 hours is my playtime. Okay. And that was not doing everything. I know people that have spent 50 plus hours in the game doing everything.
Does it do the classic like JRPG ultimate weapon thing for every character? Like, does that all exist towards the end?
In a form.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but okay. It sounds spoilery in the answer, so.
Well, I mean, it does. It has its take on that.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Cool.
Is it on Game Pass? It's still on Game Pass, or was on Game Pass?
It is. Yeah, still is. Yeah.
Okay. I got it.
Yeah. Worth it. So you want to talk some Hitman? Should we do some Hitman?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yes. Wow.
Yeah. You intro it while I find the VOD.
Okay. Hitman Freelancer is it's like a mini expansion to Hitman. But what it does is it takes something that always would have worked well in the Hitman universe and it puts it in the game essentially. And what it does is it adds a rogue-like component. So it is intuitive. It is well done. Granted, there are some weird things about it because the game is so big. Like, sometimes you'll get mission things that conflict, or you won't have the right equipment, or the person won't go in the right path to do what you need to do, kind of stuff. But overall, I have been having a blast with it. I'm probably going to play it more tonight, and I played it this morning. And the premise behind it is that you have your traditional Hitman levels, which are already big and have tons to do. You start in a random location. You have like a persistent inventory where items you take out, very similar to Tarkov, you take out and then you can bring it back in. If you die, you lose it, kind of stuff. And you have a list of sub-objectives. You can see the blue ones right up there in the top left, which change based on what contracts you get. So you can kind of whittle them down to like a group of stuff you want. You then have main things to do. Of course, it's Hitman. So you've got your hits in the mission. And then basically the premise is that you work through 2 base missions, and then you have like a boss mission, essentially. And then you do 3 missions and a boss mission. And if you lose on a boss mission, all of your progress resets, except your persistent inventory, which you can then still use to go through there. There's also like a master level. There's a meta system called your master level.
Oh no.
It's hardcore mode. Yeah, no. Master level is basically like you're constantly getting your master level. And what's cool about that is as you're getting more and more master level stuff, your hideout is unlocking and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So you get access to like bathroom and lounge and upper floor and outside and garage. And those give you access to more like things you can go and do in the hideout or customize with cosmetics, or in some cases go and pick up actual items and weapons you can bring with you. The boss battles are pretty cool because you don't know who your target is. You know traits of your target. Like they're wearing a hat and a mustache with black hair, and they are smokers that are doing a secret meeting. And then you have like a bunch of prospective targets, and you have to follow them around and like take pictures of them and figure out who's who. Like that old game, Guess Who? And then you have to figure out how to murder that person. And in a lot of ways, you have to do like a specialty murder if you want to get more man bucks, which is, they're called merces or something. Man bucks.
They're called mercers. Funny enough, they gave Matthew Mercer his own credit.
We just call them man bucks because, Matt's got enough going for him.
Yeah.
There's also all sorts of little stuff. Like there's certain NPCs that you can kill to get more man bucks in the game, and they're like doing their own thing. There's safes you can crack and hack to do that too. Of course, there's the sub objectives. It's just a very cool take on Hitman roguelite. That's what it is, and it works.
I will go as far as to say it's the best version of Hitman to exist.
It is absolutely one of the best versions of Hitman's to exist. I would agree with you.
It's really good.
Hitman has always catered to a gameplay loop like this.
Yeah.
Like the idea behind Hitman has always catered to it. This would be the perfect kind of thing, and they could make a huge amount of money just by like adding map packs to this mode.
And there's already 21 maps.
And there's already a bunch of maps, absolutely.
That's wild.
But yeah, it's very fun. It's really cool. I'm not even the biggest Hitman fan. I'm usually the kind of guy that plays them through once. I get my story and my stuff. I'm not the kind of guy that goes back through and plays, all the different ways and getting all the kills. And this mode is still a huge amount of fun.
Yeah.
So strongly recommend. If you've played through the Hitman games and you're like, yeah, that was pretty fun, try this.
Yeah. That's
and the technical term, by the way, the full name is Hitman Worlds of Assassination.
Yeah, because they re-released. So there's been 3 Hitman games of this engine.
Yep.
They re-released them all to be combined into a singular game, Hitman World of Assassination, and then this is the new mode within that game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because I don't, when you stream it, do you get a ton of people saying like, how do I buy, what game is this?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's a little conflicting. Some people can just download it for free. Some people need to buy extra packs and stuff. Like it's interesting because if you look at the way that Hitman has been released over the last decade, they've tried first they were episodic, then they were full packs, then they were whole games, then they were extra add-on packs to the episode. Like they've been trying all sorts of things to figure out what works. And now basically there's just like a big umbrella over everything, and you just get that and you're good to go.
Yeah. It's also on Game Pass, as Chad is pointing out. Another Game Pass game.
Even cooler.
Yeah. This is like, for me, this is the definitive way to play Hitman. I was the exact same way. I would play through the game once, and it's not a game that is... Saying a game is meant to be played a certain way is kind of weird. I feel like this game is...
It's a sandbox game.
It is meant to be played over and over and over in these levels.
Yes.
But for the story, like, I would do it once, and I'd be like, cool. And then I'd put it down. This one, you pop into a mission, you can get out of that mission with under a minute. If you spawn in the right area or go in with the right weapon or find the right guy with the right outfit next to you or whatever, you can get in there, kill the guy, and immediately be gone on to the next level. And it just is constantly feeding that stuff, and it's awesome.
I had a mission today. It was a boss fight, and I zoned in. I literally walked around a corner. There was one of the prospective people there, looked at her. She wasn't wearing earrings or something, so I marked her off.
Yeah.
Walked around the other corner. One of the marks passed me into the bathroom, had a little secret meeting. I was like, oh, okay, we'll follow her down into like the main concourse of the area. She starts smoking and eating. She has everything she needs. Boom, she's the person. So I literally walk over to the door to exit the level, unpack a sniper rifle from my briefcase, just right there in the corner, just leader killed, turn around, use the door. I'm in and out in 2.5 minutes. Yeah. I was just like, that felt so good.
It's great, man.
It was great. It was awesome. It was fantastic. I didn't even use a disguise. I was just like, okay,
I had two ridiculous. I mean, the game is just a comedy in a lot of ways when it comes to just killing people. But I had one where I spawned in the level, and after you finish a mission, you get essentially a loot box that has 3 random items in it, and you can choose one. And so I got a remote explosive from my, like, quote unquote loot box. I went into the next mission, spawned on the side. I forgot what level it was. Spawned in an area, saw the target up in a window, and he was pathing kind of on this L-shaped window. 30 seconds in, run over there, throw the remote explosive into the window, set it off, and then just grab a little bike and ride off. And I was out in under a minute.
There you go.
And it was great. It just felt fantastic.
And another thing that's super cool about this mode, it is very anti-save scum.
Yes.
Which caters to this game. So, like, there have been so many situations where normally I would just hit F9 or load got discovered, hit F9, load my game. But because you can't do that, it's like, well, I guess I got to kill these guys and figure out what the hell I'm going to do. And that has led to some incredibly cool situations. Like, today I was in a house, a dude spotted me. I killed him. The whole house got alerted. There were like 3 guys coming up the stairs. I quickly got the disguise of the dead guy, put him into the closet. The door is opening with the dude to kill me. I walk by him the other direction, and then I go into the bathroom while the 3 guys who now have no idea who I am because there's just disguise are like, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Because there was no body, no person. And meanwhile, and then I just walked out and finished the mission.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is awesome.
There's awesome
and that's
stuff
the kind
like
of
that.
That's the kind of thing where if I was not in this mode, I probably would have been like, discovered, escape, load game, that kind of thing. But instead, I had to kind of like, figure something out, and it worked.
Yeah.
A lot of times it doesn't though, and that's just as entertaining.
Let's be honest. The game is pretty difficult.
Oh yeah.
I don't know anyone that's finished the game. You don't know what to do. Yes.
Yeah, I think Bikeman was getting close last I heard, but he's been putting a lot of time
I'm sure Chat will
Zach
tell us.
was also getting really good as well. But it's the kind of thing where
it's hard.
The game, you can absolutely play this without having played any Hitman games. And I got that question. I'm getting that question more and more. Can I just play this mode? I've never played Hitman. Can I just play this? And the answer is absolutely you can. But there's no question it's going to be difficult. Very difficult. Every map has things that you can just know or find out. Oh, it's this map. So I know that this guard will go around this corner, and then I can get that disguise, which will allow me to get access to all these places. And that's just stuff you learn by playing.
Yeah.
When you're doing it for the first time, especially like there's a couple maps that start you in like aggro trespassing territory, it can be real, real tough. There's a couple known combinations of like certain type, like alerted maps on Colorado and stuff like that, where it's like, if you don't really know what to do, it's kind of a game over. Like you kind of got to do things and like kind of got to do them quick. Or like two guards are going to come at you from different directions. You're gonna have no place to hide, and they're both going to trigger like an alarm for the entire map. So it's it can get rough, and every so often there are things where you are going to go, okay, that was bullshit. But that just comes with the territory, the fact that it's roguelite. It's roguelite. Like you can literally start in almost any place in the map when you start it. So crazy shit's going to happen. It's not perfectly balanced. And it does kind of cater to, the better you know the map, the easier it's going to be to escape really tough situations. Yeah, obviously. But to end this little part, you don't need to have played any Hitman to enjoy this game mode.
Not at all. If you want to play through the story, there's 21 different maps, and you totally can. You'll know those maps a little bit better going in, but like 100% agree with you. You don't need to play any of it.
Oh, also, side note, because this threw me off a lot at the beginning. The only kind of unfortunate thing about this is that all of the maps have tons of ambient commentary and ambient objectives that are specifically designed for the story that have no bearing in roguelite mode. So you'll like be sitting there listening to some person's conversation about, oh, it's his 27th birthday and they're preparing it in the chef room and all this stuff. And it's like, oh wait, that cake doesn't exist because it's not. like nothing they just said is pertinent to anything happening in the roguelite.
I find that stuff to be hilarious. Like
it's funny. Yeah. But it's just a lot of times it'll sound like it's giving you some kind of cool secret to do in the game. And it's just like all about killing someone you don't have to kill.
Right.
So it's just kind of like, whatever. Yeah. Just keep that in mind when you're playing it. I didn't take that stuff out.
On this level that we're watching right here, I had the most absurd. So I had a proximity mine. Proximity mine, you throw it, they have to walk into it. I knew the path of the guy. So I was sitting on the other side of a wall, lobbed the proximity mine over the wall. He didn't get close enough to it, so it just knocked him back and knocked him down. As that's happening, the second target is sheltering behind me, like literally 3 feet behind me in a bush, because she heard the proximity mine go off. So I just go over, snap her neck, and then walk right back over to where I was. And then the guy that I threw the proximity mine with paths over towards a ledge, and his guard behind him like goes and gets a drink of water. And so he paths behind this one little pillar, and line of sight is big for people being able to see you in this game. The second he passed behind the pillar, I just shove the target over the wall. He dies, and then I walk out of the map. And it's like that type of stuff is so incredibly fun to experience, and how absurd it can get.
I actually think that Zeke could have a lot of fun with this
totally,
game.
Yeah.
Because, and Zeke, you totally should try this. There is so much fail state activities. Like there's so many things that happen when you fail. And I would love to see you do that.
It's a great streaming game. Really is.
Honestly, one of my favorite memories of the past few years is when I was playing Hitman. There's been a few moments with Hitman, but one of them was like, I don't remember what mission it was, but I remember like it was on a movie set and you had to kill the guy who was on camera. And I just ran to him, broke his neck, and then ran to the exit. I was like, oh shit, I won.
Yeah, that stuff works.
And that shit, like, that's how I would play this. I would definitely start each level by going, how can I get to them and break their neck the quickest and get out?
Yep.
And that's definitely, like, I would not be a silent assassin, no suit only for this guy, the one thing
I will say is the little sub things. So like Ko here, for example, in this VOD has to kill someone with throwing an item, to poison the target with a sedative,
Mr. Crowbar,
and to poison a guard. And so if you do those, you get more,
much better
man bucks.
If you can see, exactly. If you can see, the man bucks payout is 200 for the mission, but then thousands if you complete the sub objectives. So they give you a lot of reason to do those and do them properly.
And those, I think, where the game initially, I don't want to say failed, but where I lost interest is because it was too open of a sandbox. Like there was too many things to do that I was a little bit overwhelmed sometimes. This one, giving those parameters, make it so much more fun because you immediately go into the mission with an idea in mind.
More focused.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
with
so much more
I need to do this.
And what's even cooler is whenever you start a campaign, you pick between dossiers. Like there's 8 different dossiers. and each one has a subsect, like 9 to 10 objectives based on the playstyle you want to do. So in Zeke's case, he could pick a dossier that literally caters to carnage, breaking people's necks, killing with melee weapons, throwing axes at people. Or there's like a whole dossier that's, about poisoning and making sure you're not seen and stuff like that. The one I prefer is the executioner one, where it's like get kills with silenced weapons and get long range kills and, get a bunch of headshots, which I always fail. So, stuff like that. It's it very much lets you cater. It lets you create your own experience in terms of what you want to get out of the missions.
Yeah. Yeah. So
while still keeping it random, because you have like a list of 10, but you can see you only get 3 per. And then as you progress through the game, you start getting specialty ones too, where there are these 3 golden envelopes, and those are like extreme objectives. Like, you like a timed thing where you can't be seen. You have a 2-minute timer. Every stealth kill you get gives you 2 more minutes, and you have to complete it in that certain amount of time, or never be seen and never use a disguise. Like all sorts of crazy stuff. But those give like 3,000 to 5,000 when you beat them. So it's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely rewards better players for sure.
So more importantly, this doesn't penalize you if you fail, which is awesome.
Yes. Very true.
So this is under, like, if I was going to get it on Game Pass, it's under Hitman 3, right?
It's under Hitman World of Assassination.
Oh, you'll want World of Assassination. And I actually think it gets a little more confusing, because I think, is World of Assassination the deluxe pack, or is that the World of Assassination?
I think Hitman 3 might have combined them all as well. Yeah, Chad is saying Hitman 3 is now
it is all under 3. Okay, so if you were right, search, if you search for Hitman 3, it's $70.
Well, here
should have everything in it.
In Xbox, on the Xbox Live app, or Xbox whatever Game Pass app, it says World of Assassination, games included, Hitman 3.
Yeah.
Add-ons included, Hitman 3 Access Pass, blah, 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 all the maps and all that shit.
So that's probably.
I'm surprised it doesn't say, like, under World of Assassination, it doesn't say, like, freelancer mode.
Yeah.
It doesn't. There's not in there.
You're actually right, because if you go to the Hitman 3 Steam thing, you can't buy Hitman 3. You can only buy Hitman World of Assassination, which has 3 and then all the extra stuff for it for $70. At least that's how it is on mine. And then you can also get the World of Assassination Deluxe bundle. And so far, all I've seen in mine, the Deluxe bundle just adds like more cosmetics and stuff you can put in your area. I don't know if it actually adds like extra stuff. Freelancer, by the way, just to be clear, Freelancer, the roguelite mode, was a free update.
Yes.
So you don't buy Freelancer. If you own Hitman 3, it was an update to that. I just didn't know if they had changed the name of that. But it looks like Hitman World of Assassination is what you get, unless you have Game Pass, which I think you do. In which case you can just get off Game Pass.
Yep.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, if you feel like really being crazy, Zeke, there's a VR mode now in Hitman. It has been for a while, and it's first person, and it's as janky as you think it would be, but also endlessly hilarious. Like
that one is on my list for when I finally get my VR stuff going.
Like it's jank.
Do you like
jank? Yes. Yeah. You're like, yeah, I think.
And breaknecks?
I don't know about the breakneck thing. I do know that you throw stuff. Like you have to physically do that motion. I also remember when it came out, pretty much every streamer that was playing it was saying it was like, the fun factor was in how jank it is and how just like busted in a lot of ways. But if you're looking for something else outside of the freelancer mode, there is a VR mode that is free. You don't have to pay anything extra for it. So it's good. It's definitely, like I said, when we first started talking about it, it's the best way to play Hitman. And I hope it's the direction. Actually, I guess it's not the direction they're taking it, because they're making a Bond game now. That's the next game the studio is working on, is the brand new James Bond game, whatever that is.
Can't wait to see how many ways we can kill Bond.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Do you think from like an IP side of things that they're going to let you have Bond just get destroyed like so many different ways?
Probably. I mean, like how could they not, like, I think freedom of choice is something that Hitman is known for. So I'm sure all the wackiness from Hitman 3 will probably be in that game in spades.
I guess
I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's going to be too much different than Hitman. Like, I think it's just going to be. I mean, they could literally just make a different main character in Hitman 3, and it would feel kind of like a James Bond game if you think about it.
I guess
Use
the biggest thing,
gadgets and explosives and all that kind of stuff.
I agree with you. For some reason, when I think Bond, I merely think like, oh, that's going to be a famous actor, and like most agencies won't allow a famous actor to have
they'll make
their
a new
IP.
guy.
Yeah, it'll probably be its
Make a
own new guy, its own Bond, whatever that is. I hope. And I hope they just kind of
I would be baffled. It'd be a waste of money if it wasn't. There's been so many different Bonds anyway. Like, how would you pick the right one? Just make a new guy and focus on the funds on making the game better,
Yeah. Hope so. Anyways, that's Hitman Freelancer. It's worth it. Go play it. It's good. It's a good game. Zeke, we return to you. CD Ramathon.
Okay. We're doing a break?
No more breaks at all. So if you, we're
okay, cool.
Yeah,
all right.
Just we'll go through every 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you got to use the restroom or anything, do you? Zeke, where are we headed? I chose last time. You choose where we go.
Okay, let's do.
We'll leave you guys with me.
Did we talk about Trespasser? We talked about Trespasser already, right?
Yes. Yeah. We mentioned that last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We could do Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. We got Doom 2.
Bet.
We got Steven Spielberg's director's chair. We got Alone in the Dark. We got Max Payne.
Oh my God, any of those. Let's do director's chair. How about?
Okay. All right.
Steven Spielberg's director's chair.
Oh boy. How?
Oh man.
What even is that game? What do you even do?
So I don't know if y'all remember back when CD-ROM games were kind of the thing to get. Like, they had a lot of money behind them, and they could get some fucking names, dude. Like, they had A-rate like celebrities doing their games with them. And Steven Spielberg made a game. Oh, I don't know if he made a game, but someone made a game with Steven Spielberg's okay and him in it. Where you actually, I gotta say, this game is more real than I cared to play more than one day of. Because
meaning like he's talking about how to be a director?
Well, he gives you like the gist, and you actually have to, like, the first time through is what I thought the game was going to be every time, but no, it is not. You direct this film, and it's like, I don't know, 12 minutes long or something like that.
Okay.
And what you do all of the, you do the sound effects, you do the editing, you do the Foley, or I said that, you do the music, you make the posters, you make the tickets and stuff like that. He comes and sits down and talks to you about like making movies and shit. And what it's on the box. Guess who's in it? Well, none other than Quentin Tarantino. Oh yeah, he's in the game.
Saying what or doing what?
He's an actor on the movie that you're directing and editing and shit like that. So, and they have these people, the people that pop in, those are real movie. They're like real producers, real editors, real sound designers. That Steven Spielberg was like, hey, you want it? And of course, it's like Steven Spielberg's on the phone, like, yeah, I'll do whatever. I'll be in your game. Sure. No big deal. And they pop into the scene, whatever you're getting tutorialized to do. They'll come in and say like, hi, I'm Dan Grossberg. I edited films such as Aladdin, freaking Raiders of the Lost Ark. And they're real people that did these things.
Hell?
I know. And then they'll tell you like, editing is one of the unsung heroes of the movie business, and they'll give you like a little thing, and then they'll give you little tips on how best to edit or add sound or whatever.
So are you announcing your directing debut now for the Zeke universe?
No,
the Z3U.
No, I am absolutely not.
Okay,
because it's
what is this Motorola page?
This is my assistant.
Okay, sure.
This is my personal assistant, the PA, personal assistant.
Oh boy,
who should be doing my job, because all she does is tell me how to do my job. Like she's the tutorial basically.
What the hell?
So, she like you take the pager. The pager is basically your like the question mark cursor. You like click on the question mark and then you click on something else to tell me what it is. That's what she does. You take the pager and you click on something, and then she goes, "This is a editing booth, and this is how you do this," and all this kind of stuff. So the first time through, it takes you, a good couple of hours to edit together your first 12-minute thing. And you start with the script. You write, you are with the writers of the script and 2 actual movie writers. I can't remember their names right now, but 2 actual movie writers are there like, "Hi, we're blah, blah, blah. We wrote this movie and this movie and this movie." And you can either choose to like edit together the script yourself or just hand it off to them and let them do it.
Weird.
But like after the first movie, you get the script, you construct the scenes, you do the all they give you to start with. The first mission through is a master shot, and the master shot is basically the wide shot of the whole thing, so you can like always cut back to the master shot if you need like the whole scene. But for the first time through, that's all they give you. The second time through, there are scenes with like 9 camera angles, and you can cut in between them like a real fucking movie. And it is fucking tedious. It is really, really tedious. It's like the real process. You watch the same scene 20 fucking times through to get 2 minutes of film. And everybody who's ever worked or been on a film set, they're like, yep, that's how this is. And people were coming and going like, "I can't watch this anymore. It's too much like my real job." And I'm like, it's fucking like a job.
Yeah.
The first time through was it was more video gamified. It was easier. You didn't have so many things to select from. You only had the master shot and stuff like that. But the second time through, it's the same movie, but they give you more scenes every time you play it. Every time you play through it and edit the movie down, they give you more scenes until eventually you have all the scenes. And how they justify it video game wise is the first time through you get, I can't remember what it was, but it was like your budget is like 520,000. That's your budget. And they like every retake, they throw like random like delays on you. Like, all right, we're going to shoot this. And then like the screen will come down. And the costumer's like, "Hi, I'm the costumer from fucking whatever movie. It's going to take another 45 minutes before, the costume is ready for this lady." And you're like, what did you choose? Shoot a different scene, wait for them to be done, or blah, blah. And if you like, whatever you choose, it's like, ding, money, ding, you hear the cash register going, it's like, that costs you more. Delays.
Sounds pretty
more
accurate
money.
to
I know.
proper Hollywood, yeah.
It's way more accurate than it should be for fun value, I guess.
Yeah.
And obviously it's not exactly like it is editing a movie, but it's pretty goddamn close. In that I didn't want to play it anymore because it felt like I was working a job.
This feels like the inception of the idea of masterclass, like 20 years prior to them figuring out what masterclass is. Yeah, let's get Steven Spielberg on a game, and we'll have the player choose all this inane bullshit, put it out as a product. It'll be great.
That was me. Just I was making the ticket. By the way, my director's name was Dong Howhard. That was me, of course.
Yeah,
a classic Dong movie.
Yeah.
One of the funny weird things is when I'm making the credits.
Oh, these are credits. I thought you were selling movie tickets. These are credits.
No, okay. In this area, you make the poster, you make the movie tickets, and you make the end credits. In this little section. You can choose not to credit people.
Oh, no.
It's like,
oh, God, it's like game dev all over again.
Would you like, I'm not shitting you, would you like to credit the writers? And I said, no, I don't want to credit the writers.
Oh, God.
So they didn't appear in the credits. I was like, is there going to be any repercussions? And there is none. You know why? Because Steven Spielberg's attached to the product. Well, I better not make a fuss.
To be fair, numerous twitlongers against your company is quite that's a consideration.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
everyone knows it's hard to get credit
in
a Dong film, right? Like it's tough. It's you gotta be tough.
Dong is hard but fair.
Yes.
Hard but fair.
Yeah. Everyone knows that. That's the tagline. Hard but fair. Jesus.
So you go through all this and you're directing people like Quentin Tarantino, Penn and Teller are in it.
Of course they are. What? Sure, absolutely.
Guess who else is there of Friends fame? Jennifer Aniston is in it. Yes, indeed.
I wonder how much this cost to get made. Like that, those people were. Did this come out like peak Friends fandom? Because that must have been very expensive for Jennifer Aniston to be in this.
Hold on, let me grab it.
That's like multi. I really want to know the budget for this. It came out in '96, according to someone in chat. That's kind of wild.
Okay.
Let's see if we can find the budget. Steven Spielberg's director's chair.
Big bucks, big stars, big problems. And yeah, it has Jennifer Aniston, Quentin Tarantino, Penn and Teller, and of course the man himself, Steven Spielberg.
Weird.
And it's on 3 discs, as you might imagine. It's got a lot of full motion video.
It's a lot of fun.
What a weird thing. I'm trying to find like the budget for it. It says the virtual budget of the game, which I guess is part of the game, was 40 million. So that's what you had to work with in the game, Zeke, was 40 million for everything? Yeah.
That is the end product. So your first time through, it's like 520,000, something like that. And then the next time through, you get like, I think you get 7 million is the second time you make the movie. And then it just builds up from there. I never finished the second time through. But you get more scenes to work with the second time through. You get more camera angles to work with. So it jumps exponentially from the first time through to the second time through on how much fucking time it takes. If the first time through took you an hour, the second time will take you fucking 4. I guarantee it. If you want to make it the same quality as the first one, like you want to put all the things in the right spot as best you can, edit it together, holy shit. Because you not only put in like all of the edits, which take forever, the camera angles, you go through every camera angle. So like if your fucking scene has 7 camera angles and the scene is 5 minutes long, that's 35 minutes of footage that you have to edit together like a real fucking movie. And that's just 1 2 minutes or 1 5-minute scene. It ends up being like a 20-minute movie or something like that at the end. So every 5 minutes is like, half hour, 45 minutes. Just adds up. And not only that, you have to come in under budget. You have to deal with delays and fuck-ups and problems and all kinds of shit. You have to deal with Quentin Tarantino just like licking people's feet for no reason. I'm kidding. That's not in the game.
The early days of Quentin.
But you do, okay. All that said, the game is more real than I cared to keep playing. It got way too real. I will say, if they made a game where it was just you watching pieces of film and adding the Foley, the sound effects, that shit was by far the funnest part of the game for me. You watch the movie through and you're like, okay, there's a sound coming up here and ding dong. Okay, now the clock, he's looking at his watch, but I bet it still ticks. So you put the clock ticking like tick, 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 tick. And you put all these like random weird, like they only give you so many sounds. And the funny thing is the sounds they give you are not like, I don't know if they give you like 25 sounds, 23 of them you would never use on this movie ever. Like, it's just like a slide whistle. Just like a stinger. There's no reason for there ever to be a slide whistle in there. All right, let's put a fucking like an alarm for like nuclear explosion. Like everybody get out of the building. I was like, nothing like that ever happens in the fucking movie. You never need it.
Oh man,
so that would have been fun if you had just a game where they give you movie clips and you have to try and add the best sound effects you can, and they had some scoring system.
Got it. I was trying to find like what the like actual budget for the game was, and in the 5 minutes that I started, I couldn't find it. I found some notable quotes though. Independent.co.uk is reporting this was, when was this? 2020? Yeah, this came out August 2020. They said, among the notable choices, including shifting Tarantino's delivery from manic to calm. Does he have calm delivery in the game? Or is that that's a delivery, or that's a choice that you can make? Is that what they're saying? Got it. Okay.
There is one big thing I want to bring up as soon as you're done.
Okay. Or making specific scenes either comic or dramatic. You can also choose whether or not Tarantino's character is executed, which might be what you're about to bring up. In 1996, Aniston said that working on the project was a, quote, last-minute thing, explaining, quote, I was doing something in New York, and my agent called and said Steven had requested me. She also said that she had to improvise, quote, a passionate kiss with Tarantino, who she had never met prior to working with him. So, like, that sounds like some real 90s shit.
Oh, I remember that. It was, look at that dude. It's weird. It was fucking weird to see him, like, kissing Jennifer Aniston. I'm like, what? They must have had to, like, pay her extra for that or something.
That's fucking weird, man.
Okay, so this is me making the poster for the movie, and as you can see, probably
this game is wild. What the hell?
Most of the shit that you can use that they give you, the clip art they give you, it has nothing to do with anything. Like it's so unrelated to anything close to the movie. You just gotta fucking pick shit, like a beach scene, a fucking brick wall, like, you know. It's just dumb. Anyways,
okay.
I guess the beach scene makes sense because, you know, there's different endings and stuff. Now, all of that aside, the game they should have made with this actually got made, and it's free. It's free to play. It is Mole Industria, MOLLE Industria.org/director's choices. It is a free-to-play game in your browser where you take all the movie scenes, every single scene from this game.
What the hell?
And you play it like an FMV game with choices, like QRT choices or QTE choices. So you don't have to direct it, you don't have to edit it, you don't have to do anything. All the scenes are there. You just can pick the path like a regular FMV game, and that shit was fun. Because you get to see all of Quentin Tarantino's, like, that's one of the choices right away in this version of the game. Do you want calm Quentin or do you want manic Quentin? You can pick one, like, pick the path. It's just like pick your path to the end of the movie kind of a thing. And that shit was fun. That shit was fun as hell.
Huh. Okay.
Because you can, like, going through it, I saw all the scenes, like, from the movie, and Quentin he's fucking off the rails. He's a fucking lunatic. And it's great. Like, he's an overactor. He is just, like, he's loud. He tries to be funny, and he's not, but that is in and of itself funny.
Yeah. He was on a podcast recently that I watched, and it was exactly what you just described. He's a wild person, but also restrained in some weird ways as well. It's his character, without a doubt. Was this game easy to get running, Zeke? Or was it a pain? Was it worth it, I guess, is maybe a better way to phrase that?
I don't remember struggling with this one. I
love the font.
I don't remember. Did we? I guess I'll ask my chat. Like, did we struggle with this one? It's 96, so I'm guessing we had to do it on Windows 95, which, you know, Windows 95 has its problems, but it's more reliable than other Windows versions, I would say. It was easy, I think. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember struggling a bunch on this one. I think we got it to run on Windows 95 because I already had the Display Doctor 256 color and resolution upgrade. So that's another thing about CD-ROMathon. Like, previous tech shit shows, kind of like, you know, you got shit to help you out with other, like, games that in the future. Yeah. So, like, if I hadn't have got that would have been a whole thing trying to figure out how to make it run right. But since I already had the fucking Display Doctor, made it pretty easy.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, if you guys want to check out the VODs, obviously I have the VODs, but if you want to see all the craziness, there's that website you can go to, moleindustria.org/directors choices.
Weird.
It's a free thing. Try not to crash it.
Okay.
That's why I'm not putting the link in.
We'll be back in CD-ROMathon soon. Co, anything else you've been playing you want to chat up?
Playing through Stalker again. Stalker's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
Stalker
a great time
1?
to do it with Stalker 2 out this year. Yeah, I'm playing Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl.
Okay.
Which is with the Lost Zone Reclamation Project, and it is incredible.
All right. You played through that a while back, right?
It is my most played franchise on Twitch.
Yeah. What is this, 3 then? Are you on 3 playthroughs or 2?
5.
5 playthroughs throughout? Okay. Jeez.
I think I played it 5 times in my 10 years.
Good
5.
Lord.
Maybe this is 4. I love Stalker, dude.
Sure.
It's phenomenal.
Why not? Yeah. Okay. We've probably spoken about it then on the show. Go watch one of the other 4 times.
We're doing Stalker and Clear Sky, and then Call of Pripyat, and then getting ready for 2, hopefully this year.
Yeah.
Very excited.
What about
also?
Well,
go ahead.
What are you about to say? I'm about to say Deliver Us Mars. What were you?
Deliver Us Mars.
Yeah. What? How is that? I watched
Deliver Us Mars
launch trailer for it. Oh, that doesn't sound good.
No. That's a good oof. Okay. So Deliver Us Mars, it's like a indie. It's between, I'd say, indie and AA. The voice acting is phenomenal. The voice acting is really, really, really good. It is essentially a walking simulator that has like some light puzzle and movement elements between like the major reveals and things like that. But it was a lot of fun. But I have to say, this is a very message heavy game. And it is one of those games where it's like the message is not sunshine and rainbow and unicorn farts.
Is it save the earth or we're all going to burn in hell?
Earth is already dead in this game.
Okay.
Yeah, Earth is dying essentially. It's undergoing desertification, and it is a very bad situation. And without spoiling too much of it, it is a very questionable attempt at possibly saving it. So it delves into some very interesting questions, and it kind of presents them but doesn't answer them. I strongly recommend, if people are interested in Deliver Us Mars, that they play Deliver Us the Moon, because this is a direct sequel. And together, Deliver Us the Moon right into Deliver Us Mars is a pretty great storytelling experience.
How long do you think that is playtime-wise?
Maybe with both of them, I'd say like 20-ish hours.
Okay,
so
there is some length.
Yeah, it's not. There's some length to it, but it's not by any means like a slog.
Yeah,
but it is a very, very cool experience. I'm kind of, it's kind of unfortunate. Not a lot of people played it. Just kind of went under the radar for most streamers and stuff. I was looking forward to seeing other people's reactions and like barely find anyone else playing it.
Yeah.
But it's super worth the playthrough. It is essentially a walking simulator with some light gameplay elements thrown in there, but it's definitely worth the ride.
Huh. Okay. Like I said, I watched the like launch trailer for it, and it looked pretty. What's the word I want to use? Competent. Like it looked like a very well made game. It looked pretty. Everything looks sound in it. It looks and sounds great.
It doesn't have obviously like AAA resources, so some of the animations are janky. Some of the models are a little questionable. Some of the facial stuff is not perfectly lined up. But again, the level of voice acting plus like the interesting bits of the story and everything absolutely make it worth it.
Okay.
Like it is 100% worth checking out.
Is this by chance on Game Pass as well?
I don't know. I don't think so.
It is.
I don't think it is.
$25 on Steam. Sounds like that price is fine for you. 25. Okay.
I think so. I think some people might say it's a little short for that, but I certainly thought it was worth it.
Okay. And it is not on Game Pass from a quick glance. So I wonder if the first one is though. Interesting though. I
super worth it.
I might check that game out. I've been playing a lot of games like this
I would
offline.
definitely check. I would do Deliver Us the Moon first and then do Deliver Us Mars.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're planning on playing Deliver Us Mars, it is totally worth playing the first one.
Cool.
The Deliver Us the Moon I'm pretty sure I played that one.
You're not thinking of the Sprite.
Yeah, 10 hours. Right? I got 10 hours on record, and I remember really enjoying it.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's super cool. And Deliver Us Mars, Zeke, is the next one, and it released like 4 days ago. It's really good.
I think it's on my wish list. I'm pretty sure.
Definitely worth the playthrough.
Cool.
Okay, cool. That will definitely be coming up for me now that I'm not deep in CD-ROMs.
Yeah.
And the only other little game that we don't really need to talk about it, but I'll definitely bring it up. I tried Hi-Fi Rush.
I'm looking at your VOD stuff right now, and I saw 5 parts, and that makes me worried that you didn't enjoy it.
It's not that I didn't enjoy it.
That's not a good way to start.
It's just a hard okay.
Really?
It was a hard okay for me.
Where did you stop?
I found after the second boss, I want to say.
So you you had a good chunk of the mechanics.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Rekka.
All the combat scenes felt very samey. Once I got the mechanics down, it wasn't that much. It wasn't super engaging. The comedy was okay for me. Yeah. I wasn't really super into the comedy. The music was great.
Did you play DMCA mode or no?
Yes, I played DMCA mode.
Okay.
It's just and like I was telling chat, because we had a long talk about this. It's not that I didn't like it. It's just I felt like it was a hard okay, and it came to the point where I was sitting down thinking about what I wanted to play, and I was just like, I'd rather play Stalker. I'd rather spend. I'm limited on time, and I'd rather play Stalker.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's not like I played it and it was bad. I played a little bit of it, but I got a really good idea about what it was. And another big thing about it is, even though I had fun playing it, I need to really like the gameplay, or really want to know where the game is going. Really like something there. And to put it bluntly, I could not give less of a shit of this main character. He's just totally uninteresting to me.
He definitely is.
I have no care about, at least to the point I got to, there was nothing that was I need to see where this is going.
Yeah.
And because I didn't love the gameplay, it was okay. It was good. It worked. But because I didn't love it and I didn't really care about the story, I was just I'll just go do something else.
Yeah.
But that being said, I totally get why people dig this, especially considering it was dropped on us. A lot of people in my chat asked me to keep playing it, and I had to apologize to say that I wasn't. Clearly, there's definitely got
a beloved fan base. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Clearly there's something there.
The part where you dropped off, it does sound like I'm catering to what your experience was, but the beginning is a little slow. You don't get the parry mechanic till after where you stopped. And the parry mechanic is I
don't think I ever got the parry mechanic.
The parry mechanic is the game, because you parry to the beat in a lot of ways, in almost all the ways. And it adds the depth and complexity that you might have been looking for, that might have been lacking for you. And character-wise, the main character is definitely a dipshit in the first 2-ish hours. There's no doubt about it. I think he's designed to be that. Yeah.
No, knowing that it does get better. I could maybe I should keep trying it.
I'm not trying to sell you on the game. Yeah.
Oh no, I know. Well,
I kind of did, I guess.
Yes.
In the first place,
I was going to say, in a way you are, but and again, I didn't dislike it. I just didn't really see. I didn't think it was going to progress past what I was already getting. So knowing that it does, that is a factor. That is something to consider. So maybe, and I even say, I have a Hi-Fi Rush command. I even say in the command, I might return to it at some point.
Yeah.
I just, didn't really want to.
You could,
at that point. Yeah, but do a cozy stream and check it out more.
Yeah. If you put, 2 hours, hour and a half into it, it's only a 10, 11 hour game. So it's a stream or two to finish it. But yeah, parry mechanic's huge. You also get more assist.
I will say, I remembered when I was looking through the controls, because I changed I originally changed my dodge to B, like Dark Souls. And I remember looking through the controls and I was like, oh, there's a parry button.
Yeah.
And then I think I even asked Chad, I was like, did I miss a parry tutorial? Where I don't think I can. So yeah, that answers that question.
Yeah. And there's also did you unlock the chip system? There's more character.
I got the move system stuff.
Okay. Chips is an additional mechanic to.
Oh, I don't think I got to that. No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, it does open up a little slow. I think that was a pretty common criticism of it that I saw in all the discussions. So I still stand by it. I think the game's absolutely fantastic. I have watched it.
Maybe I'll have to try it again.
Yeah. It's a good one. I'm glad you tried it though. Zeke, you're still planning on playing it, right? This next week, I think is when you said you're starting.
Yep, firing it up on Tuesday, and it's nice that there is, like, I haven't heard a dissenting opinion.
Yeah, Co's the first.
Yeah, nice to hear one.
Yeah,
but from the sounds of it, I stopped early.
Honestly, it reminds me of. I've done this several times where it's a beloved game, and I feel like I have to like justify why I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like that. I've had to do that many times on this very show.
I hate that shit, dude.
It's not a fun feeling.
I try not to, but I still find myself doing that. Like, Gabriel Knight. That was like a huge,
beloved, yeah.
Everyone was like, "Oh, you're gonna go back and finish like Gabriel Knight? Come on, man, Gabriel Knight's great." And I find myself going like, I can see how blah, 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 blah.
You have to like baby it.
Yeah, sure, I can, but like, I don't like it. Can that be okay? That be enough? Like, it's not for me, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear like it's not perfect because I wanna. It's because it looks fucking amazing, and I've heard nothing but good shit about it. So
graphics are great. Music is 10 out of 10. I will absolutely give it that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I'm playing it on Tuesday, but I'm also playing it with the original music. So DMCA's probably won't be in
you're in for even more of a ride because the original music, you get like Prodigy and 9 Inch Nails.
I went back and watched all of the major scenes with with the licensed music in it.
Intended
music, yeah. It's kind of weird because the stuff that the game made for like streamer mode follows the same, and this is gonna be an eye into my musical knowledge. It follows the same like rhythm and everything of the licensed tracks in the song. So like when 9 Inch Nails Perfect Drug plays, they're very similar in what you get in like the 9 Inch Nail Perfect Drug and then the like streamer safe music. It's weird and also wild that they were able to go and create music with the same exact like vibe and rhythm and style and all that stuff. And it's probably why those songs were good to begin with, because they were emulating a source material that was proven to be good. But yeah, I will, I'll probably tune into that, Zeke, or at least catch the VODs. Curious to see your thoughts on it as well. I think Dan played it. I don't know if he finished it though. He might have dipped out, similar to Co pretty early on. Not sure why though, but anyways, that's Hi-Fi Rush. Sounds like we'll be talking about it again briefly next week because Zeke's gonna play a little bit of it.
I was like, maybe I'll try it tomorrow morning, and then I looked it up, and it's like, oh wait, Dark and Darker comes out tomorrow morning.
Yeah, Dark and Darker starts back. Yeah, that's my mishap. I'm gonna try to play this week. There's also Steam Next Fest starts tomorrow as well with all the demos.
Yeah,
so I might check out some demos or maybe play some Dark and Darker. We'll see.
Yep,
we'll see.
Also played Spellforce.
How was that? What is that?
I did a 2-hour sponsor stream for Spellforce Conquest of EO. And the best way to describe it is like what would happen if you took a 4X game and combined it almost directly with an RPG. So there's like a whole bunch of like fantasy elements. You have this tower you're developing. There's like zones of influence, but there's full tactical combat like you would expect in like a pretty diverse, like Age of Wonder-esque 4X game. If you are a 4X fan, if people like 4X style games, I would definitely check this one out. There is a lot of very cool stuff in it. I actually had a pretty good time. I was debating going back to it the next night. And I think I ended up going back into Hitman because I kind of fell in love with that. But if I did not have Hitman, I probably would have played this for at least another night.
Yeah. Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to watch a little bit of footage of this to see what it actually is, but it plays a little slow.
What's a 4X game? 4Xs are, what is it? Explore, expand, exterminate, and...
Exsanguinate.
The last one.
Exploit.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah. So basically the idea behind a 4X is that you have like a big map, and you have little armies that you control, and there's all sorts of points of interest around the map, and you're constantly exploring the map, conquering other people, gathering resources, and all the while developing your own cities and outposts and things of that nature. There's a full story in this game with quests. You have multiple heroes that each have their own thing. There's like a running quest line that goes through it as well.
Oh, nice.
You can see tons of little like specific things and synergies that happen inside of your units. Different units have like harvesting abilities, so you can get different elements off the map, and it's big and seems pretty deep. There's a whole level up system, so all your guys level as well. You gain resources every turn that then you have research spells with. You cast spells, summon units, hire units. So it very much is a 4X game, but there's just lots of like little RPG elements in it as well.
Sweet.
I got to give it up to Renee's from my chat, because I feel the same way. Like 4Zs is more like
they're definitely of a certain.
That got me.
It is not for everyone.
Yeah,
I'll be blunt. Like even when I told the people that gave me the sponsorship, I was like, 4Xs are generally not my thing. Like I like playing them, but like I very rarely dive into them long term. Like they're kind of cool to see what they're doing and see if any of them are doing some unique stuff. And this one is for sure, but generally 4Xs are not only a little slow for me, they're a little slow for streaming.
That's what I was about to say. They're not good streaming.
The thing about 4X games is that you kind of need to be plugged in with them to really know what you're watching. And then even if you know what you're watching, usually the gameplays are so kind of vast that you don't really, unless you follow along the playthrough the streamer's doing, it's really hard to drop in and drop out of them. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I stopped streaming like Civ games and things back in the day.
Who published or developed it? Because I saw you did a sponsored stream, and I think Dan did a sponsored stream as well. So
THQ Nordic, I believe.
Okay.
And then,
so they had some marketing from there. Got it.
Yeah, I let me confirm that. I'm pretty sure it's THQ.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
because if this was just like a indie thing to come out on,
THQ Nordic
wouldn't have that type of budget. So cool.
Yep,
that's that.
But yeah, if you're a 4X person, I definitely recommend taking a look.
Awesome. This will be the last thing, and I did play a little Steamworld Build. Steamworld's that game that or franchise thing, IP maybe I guess is the word
IP.
for it. Yeah.
They have Steamworld Dig.
Yes, they have a lot of Steamworld games.
Mm-hmm.
That game seems like it's going to be fun. It's also strange. This game straight up, I say this in the most positive way possible, but it's going to come out negative. They like straight up stole the UI from Anno 1800. Like the way that everything feeds. This is the second part of the game. The top part of the game is like, it's Anno 1800 UI, like through and through. And it's the best parts of it for me. So like there's two parts of the games. The Steamworld Build, you build city on the top. It's got all of the workflows that you would expect. Certain things take 15 seconds. That feeds into a 30-second build, so you can support two of them type deal. And, different resources. You start with like workers, and then workers, I forget the workers go into the next tier, and then you upgrade that house just like Anno. So you build the house, then the house becomes a worker tier, then the worker tier becomes the next tier, then that tier becomes the next tier, and you get more and more people. You need those type of X amount of the tier to get X tech building, that type of stuff. And so that's all the top, right? And it's more simplified, I would say, than Anno in a good way, where Anno can get
Anno can get crazy.
Yes, it can get very overwhelming very quick. This one
is a good word for it.
Can get overwhelming, but they did a better job, at least for me, and maybe because I played so much of Anno that it was easy like progression to understand, but it seemed a little bit more approachable, I guess, in that regard. So you're doing all that type stuff up here, and then eventually you unlock the like Steamworld part of the game, the second part of the game, which is you just press 2, and now you're underground, and you're digging, and you're mining things, and these resources go back up to the top, and they allow you to.
And this is all happening in parallel.
It's all at the same time. Yeah. Yeah. So you are strongly selling me on this game. It's a demo still. It's only about an hour-ish, maybe a 90-minute demo. It's pretty cool. They have some good stuff going on. So you basically like set where you want your different bots to kind of dig to, And then as you get that stuff, it unlocks, more resources, the next tier, the next whatever to continually progress. Eventually,
Also,
it becomes kind of tower defensey down below because there are enemies that attack you. That's not in the demo, but it's in some of the stuff that they've promoted, where you have to build like defenses from different things trying to, stop you from mining and stop you from digging. And I didn't see any of that because it's not in the demo.
Serious Dungeon Keeper vibes.
I saw that so much in chat that it's 50% Anno, 50% Dungeon Keeper. I never played Dungeon Keeper, but
I am so here for that combination.
Yeah, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, that's Dungeon Keeper through and through," which I can't confirm or deny that because I've never even seen that game.
Zeke, have you ever done Dungeon Keeper on your retro game stuff? Oh, you totally should.
Oh, is it super old?
It's the original is like Bullfrog level old. It is such a great game, and they've tried to recreate it, and I'm one of those people that to this day thinks the originals are some of the best.
I saw that a lot in my chat when I was playing.
Oh man, that's awesome.
And they all said like,
this actually awesome.
It looks super fun. But it's cool. Like you looked away right when it transitioned. It is literally like you press 2 and it's a second to go down below into the mines, and then a second to come back up. And that's cool to see that there's no like long laborious loading process. It's just,
the reason I looked away is because I'm downloading this. You said it was the demo you played, right?
It's the demo. Yeah. It's you can fit into a cozy stream.
Super downloading it right now.
Yeah.
Well, dude, with Next Fest, I have a whole thing now where I do demo days. I spend the whole day.
That's what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah. The best demos from chat. And we just go down a list.
Yeah.
I would do it tomorrow, but darker, you son of a bitch. But, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the demo days. When is Next Fest? Starts tomorrow?
Starts tomorrow, yeah. And goes till maybe the following Monday.
Cool.
13th or 14th or something like that. So,
if it goes to the 15th, that's right to Returnal.
Chat's saying 13th. So that would be 1 week. Yeah, 6th through the 13th, usually a week. So I played this. It was good. It's about 90 minutes. Steamworld Dig. If anyone wanted to check that out.
Yeah. I guess Dark and Darker is part of Next Fest. That makes sense.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. And then this is actually I've played this game a ton off stream. Against the Storm. Didn't one of you play this?
Oh yes, I did. I absolutely did. I pid it when it was very early.
I
didn't do all of it.
Man, this game's incredible. It is like the perfect chill game is how I would describe this. I had like really zero stress while playing this game. And I played about 4-ish hours yesterday on stream. I played about 3-ish hours for the tutorial. I started up a second save last night off stream, and it truly steals time away from you.
Why?
You sit back and just
no. Why a second save? Is that
so
anything off stream?
Yeah, so like the world persists in the stream game. Because it's like
you didn't want the stream to miss anything.
Yeah, I didn't want the stream to miss anything. Yeah.
Okay,
that's
cool.
A better way to simplify.
I didn't know if you learned something and you were like, I need to restart or something
No. I mean, the game is very large.
Yes.
It has a very cool community on Twitch where like people are excited when people are streaming this game because they have literal hundreds of hours in it, and they're like, yeah, this game. I had to delete this game because it was stealing my life. Like I was doing nothing but just building and I had to put it down. But I'm here watching the stream, so maybe I'll re-download it tonight. Like maybe this looks pretty good. Maybe we'll do that. I'm that type of shit. So to describe what it is, it's a roguelite city builder. And you hear that, and I heard that, it's like, that sounds real stupid. Like, what the hell does that even mean? How does that make any sense? How could you mash that together? They made it work. Like the goal of the game is to go into each one of these procedurally generated maps and fill that blue bar at the bottom before the red bar fills at the bottom is kind of the quick and dirty of it. The way that you do that is by making your, city happy by giving them all those little blocks there in the top left. Those are the 3 races. There's 4 in game currently. You can actually go and vote on the 5th, which is, I want to get to how incredible the developers are on this because they really deserve to be noted as such. but I'll do that in just a sec. So you kind of fill and tick all the boxes. Each map is RNG in terms of what's going to be on the map. And certain buildings do certain things that you don't want or you do want, depending what's available on the map. And so I'm only 5-ish hours, so I can't name anything off. The one building will do jerky, which is a food, wood, and something else. Another building will do jerky, water, and something else. And so if you don't have a good source of water, then you want to go with the other one. And so those are the type of choices that you're going to make. And as you're progressing through the map, the game gives you unlocks that are random, and you can actually unlock more unlocks through the roguelite system. When you finish a map, you get resources that then you go back to like the main city and you choose these different things. And I don't know if there's 100 different things that you can unlock. There's like 30 different levels that you can unlock things in. There are people that have played this game for hundreds of hours and said they've barely scratched the surface of how deep it is. Each level probably takes, at my skill and my knowledge, it was taking me about 90 minutes to 2 hours. And I was playing on like times 1.5 speed. You can speed it up to 3. I had to look at the UI. 3x speed, so you can kind of go through this stuff. Progression-wise, what you're seeing here, obviously you chop down the trees. You tell the people where to chop down the trees, and that unlocks more of the map in that fog. Within the fog, you can have more resources. You can have buildings that you can go and take that then give you a certain type of resource or a certain item or something. And then there's also like larger fog areas that are, and I forget the terminology, they're essentially more like dire, and they can have really bad stuff in them that you have to endure, is like a civilization. But if you do that, you get rewarded, usually with like really good things. And so you kind of like pick and choose where you want to grow your civilization, how you want to grow it, the fastest ways to grow it, while also, having some sort of like Sim City, which I'm honestly pretty terrible at because I have no idea how the game works in that regard. Apparently you don't even need roads for the houses because the people never go to the houses to begin with. You just need the houses to exist. And so
doesn't matter. You need roads.
All those roads there are just pointless waste of land.
Nope. Looks good. Nope. That's a big day. If it doesn't look good, why even do it?
Yeah. And so then you have these, which are small little mini objectives that'll give you more unlocks throughout the level. And so essentially everything I just said can be culminated in like, it is a nonstop, always changing, but ending city builder. So it's like if you played a game of Anno or Sim City that was condensed down into like a 90-minute to 2-hour situation, that when you finished, you got more unlocks, you got more buildings, you got more races that you can bring into your civilization. You just got more. And you just constantly do that over and over and over. And you get to choose where you go. So there's multiple biomes. This is like the most basic biome. This is another biome that was to the south of the main city. And when you're chopping down woods, the trees around the edges, you get different things from that, or a chance to get different things from that. And so it is like, it's the perfect chill game for me. The reason that I went back and played more of this yesterday is because I was getting frustrated with Hitman because I'm bad. Also because the controls are a little annoying on PC when you're learning them for the first time, just because of how the keybinds are set up. A whole nother story. It's a me problem, not a game problem. And so I jumped in this, was like, I need to chill the fuck out. And then I lost track of time and ended up playing for like 5 or 6 hours and started playing again after I went and got some food right after I ended the stream.
Looking at this is like looking at a modded WoW UI.
It's very,
it's a lot. Now, does it, does it give you like a good amount of...
The tutorial's great.
Is it? Okay.
The tutorial unlocks things very slowly, allows you to learn them, and allows you to understand things. That being said, there's a lot of times where I would look over at chat and people would be like, You want to highlight over that and then press right on the D-pad, and it'll tell you what building you need to do that. And I never saw that in the game. It was just like little quick, tips that chat was giving me that were very beneficial. But for the core, the meat of the game, the tutorial's pretty good. It's also kind of long. I want to say it's about 2-ish hours or 2.5 hours.
Okay.
And then to talk about the developers, every 2 weeks, this game gets an update. No matter what, they push an update for this game. And those updates can be super big. They can also be pretty minor. But every 2 weeks, without fail, they push an update for this game. And they have been doing this for a very long time. When you open up the game, you can click roadmap, and it shows you exactly what they are working on in the order that they are working on and when you should probably or can expect them to deliver on said roadmap item. Then they're adding a 5th race, and to show you like how involved the community is, when you open up the game, it says vote for the next race. They put up 3 different choices, and you get to just choose what the next race that they're going to make in the game. It's wild to me that stuff exists, and that like the community is able to make those choices. And it's honestly awesome that they're able to do that.
It's Larian level of early access done right.
Yeah, it really is. It absolutely is. Also, Frog Race, go vote for it. Download the game, please. The frogs need to be a playable race.
Frogs need representation.
Frogs need representation. Screw the bat steampunk ladies and the weird forest fox people.
No, wait a minute.
No, we don't need steampunk
steampunk ladies.
We
you
need
just
frogs.
said a few things that I like. Those are great words.
We need frogs.
And when they're put together,
especially in that order.
Frogs, please. The frogs look badass. The current 4 races are there's beaver people, which I call dwarves, which is really stupid.
I do love beavers.
Yeah, there's the beaver people. There's lizards. Yeah, and then there's the humans. Is I think like the base race.
Humans are boring.
And those races, one of the mechanics of the game is those races do certain things better. So the beavers, you want to make them your woodworkers, and you'll get faster chopping down of trees because they're beavers. Funny enough, this is probably the first time I've ever referred to
harpies.
Yeah, and harpies is the 4th race I just unlocked. Yeah, I haven't messed with them yet. But beavers are woodworkers. Lizards are you want them to like deal with butchering or animal hunting, things like that. Then humans are really good at farming, so you want to put them on all the farms.
Of course they are.
Yeah, humans.
Makes so sense. Vanilla.
Yeah,
we're boring.
But there's a lot going on in the game. It is. Here's me like.
Now, do you control all those races at the same time, or do you? Yeah. Or do you choose to? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they all. There's. I don't want to say there's no fighting, because I think much later in the game, there is a sense of fighting that you like have to have a constant pushback against a certain thing. But the game's all about just like building and making sure that your civilization can like prosper. Story-wise, lore-wise, it's because the queen is wanting you to grow, the civilization out. And that's what the red bar is that if you don't please the queen, she's going to kill you. It's kind of dark, but you got to make sure that the queen is, she gets what she wants ultimately. But yeah, it's great. And it's also, I want to say it's like $30 or $20, $25, something like that. It's not super expensive. And early access and the developers are just killing it. It seems like they did a couple sponsored streams for it, I think this past week, which is, I saw Day 9 playing it. And so I was like, oh, I'll check that out. Looks kind of cool. Chat recommended it. And then I got lost in it. And I might play some more tomorrow, if not the rest of this week, on stream and off stream.
Oh yeah, $20.
Yeah,
I've only played it 2 hours. I can tell you that game's worth $20.
Yeah. I mean, there's people that were in my stream with, like I said, hundreds and hundreds that haven't seen everything, haven't unlocked all of the buildings, haven't unlocked all the different like cornerstones that can complete RNG things that will affect your civilization, so that every storm that happens or every whatever that happens, you get +1 whatever. And I'm also on the beginning difficulty. It's not super hard. I think there's 6 difficulties, maybe 5. You can make the game really hard if you know what you're doing. And there's also a demo, as Chad is pointing out. There's also a demo if you want to grab that, which I think is just the tutorial. So it's great. If you're ever overwhelmed, like if you saw Steamworld Dig and you're like, man, that looks really overwhelming. This is kind of a simplified version of all that. If you can look at a menu and see that, man, I really need to make sure that my humans get a human house because I have 2 people homeless right now, you could play this game. Like that's the core of the game is I need to satisfy this need. Let's build this thing. Great. That thing is satisfied. What do I need to do next? And you just keep doing that until that bar is filled at the bottom.
Honestly, the biggest selling point for this game, the reason why I actually just put it on my wish list is because it's modular. The games, it's 2-hour game.
Yeah. Oh,
and then
yeah.
Go on to the next one.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
that's the roguelite element right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely way more appealing to me than like when are you done building? You're not. I hate that. Like, I think it's like why open-ended games and building games and shit like that always had a sour taste because it's like, what are you building towards? Whatever you want to build.
Yeah.
Like, no, I want an end. I want a goal. I'm very goal-oriented.
Yeah.
I know you've been using this more and more lately. Had a request. Have you played on the Stream Deck?
No. I wonder how this would work, actually. You'd probably have to use the touch screen, which I haven't really messed too much with. Or maybe the haptic pad also would probably work. The UI is I had a comment yesterday when I was streaming it that the UI is they refer to it as a mobile game UI. And so that might actually work on a Steam Deck, honestly. That it's presented as such. There's also, if you want help, I just saw it there for a split second on screen. You can read a lot about this game. They have entire massive glossaries. This is the overworld, by the way, where I'm choosing the next level I want to go to. Each one of those question marks gives you a random bonus to things around it. This is the main city where you can go in and look at the progression for upgrades. I am level 2. I don't know how many there's probably 50, 100 levels in the game. You get XP through doing different things called deeds. Those give you levels, and then those levels allow you to buy the upgrades, which you get the different resources for completing missions as well as just doing small missions within the game. Chat saying there's 17 levels right now to unlock everything.
Did you? You might have already covered this, but are there difficulty settings?
Yes, there's a lot. There's four or 5 difficulties, maybe.
Okay.
And you get more rewards, I want to say, on higher difficulties. So I got 12 of whatever the currency is, I think, for finishing a map. I think if you play on higher difficulties, that obviously starts to scale. Okay. But yeah, still early access. They're still adding to it. There's already tons of hours within the game, and the fact that they're continuing to add to it with things like a 5th race and all of the other things in it that you can do. This seems like a really good game. And again, if you didn't hear it the first time, it is a roguelite city builder. Fucking weird mishmash of genres, but they made it work. I haven't really played a game like that before. So maybe it'll spawn an entirely new genre. Kind of Steamworld Dig was kind of like that in a weird way. I think you have multiple maps in that, so... If they can take exactly what Zeke said, if they could take that Anno 1800 experience of here's a 70-hour map and condense that down to 2 hours over multiple maps, that'd be really cool. So that's Against the Storm. Zeke, where are we going? Potentially last CD-ROM.
First I had a question for you. No, I just had a question for you. Your talk about difficulty actually brought this up for me. Yeah. Like I said, I'm playing Marvel Midnight Suns as my, relaxing off-stream game, whatever. Whenever I get to it, I play it.
Sure.
Did you go all the way to the last difficulty? When it came up?
So I did not finish the game.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No, and it's because that game's like 70 to 90 hours.
Big.
It's fucking stupidly huge. But I got to, I want to say second from the hardest. Because you can only make the game as difficult as far as you progress. And then eventually you unlock like the hardest difficulty.
That I just recently did that. I just recently like unlocked the Ultimate 3 difficulty or whatever it is.
So are you past? I want to say I finished Act 1 or a little bit past Act 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you fight a big lady? I'll just say that. Like big
I don't
in
think
size.
I did.
Okay.
I know who that could be.
I just did that.
I just did all the stuff with Ghost Rider. Let's go there.
Okay.
That was the last time I played. Was 2.5 months ago, and I did all the stuff with Ghost Rider.
Yeah. But I was just curious if you played it on that, because I'm on, like, I put it when the difficulty came up. I was like, oh man, it's pretty goddamn hard right now. It
gets tough, yeah.
And then I got to that particular fight that I was with the big lady, and I'm like, I had to fucking do that shit several times, and I barely eked it out on the Ultimate 2 difficulty. And like Ultimate 3 seems like, I was just wondering if I was doing something wrong, or it's actually really fucking hard or something.
No, it definitely, from my experience in terms of difficulty with Midnight Suns, it started to get where if my characters weren't optimized, or I didn't like roll of all of their abilities with like the RNG aspects to the cards, I would just enter into it. Like, or I had all the base cards because I didn't play every single character, because you have to do extra missions for that essentially. I would just get absolutely rolled. Specifically with those Ghost Rider maps. I went into those with Robbie being like the base deck, and it sucked. Like it was just so hard. even
Dude,
with I think I had like 6 or 7 restarts on one of the maps.
Like I play pretty across the board. I play like all the characters. Like,
yeah,
I play the characters that I play friendship and not like skills.
Yeah.
So like whoever I can take on the mission to get better friendship with, that's who I take. Quickly I was like, oh, Ms. Marvel or
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, excuse me. Captain Marvel. Dude, she is a killer. And then eventually it was just like, she's dog shit now compared to like,
you don't think she's great?
She lost a lot of the flair. Like she did not keep up with
I wonder
as far as like AoE and like crowd control shit, like Ghost Rider.
She was like my all-star. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've heard Ghost Rider's pretty strong. Magic was my favorite character. There.
And Magic as well.
Did you get Magic's ultimate?
But also, no, not yet. Nah.
The thing where she
I haven't got anybody's ultimate yet.
Magic's. Do you mind if I tell you what it is and how strong it is?
No, go right ahead. Be my guest.
Magic's ultimate is she taunts everyone on the map, and then goes invulnerable and gets counter.
Oh sure.
And it just destroys people. Yeah, there you go. There's some things.
It's because I'm streaming through OBS. I was like, what the fuck? Okay.
She was.
I gotta turn that
crazy. She was absolutely crazy. I really liked her character.
Okay. Like I haven't gotten anybody's ultimates yet. Like none of my characters have ultimates because I haven't concentrated on any of them.
Got it. Did you do the Deadpool?
They're all at like mid tier.
Did you do the Deadpool?
No, I haven't. I haven't got the DLC. Like, is it a free DLC or is it paid?
Might be part of the season pass.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get that, so I have not done any Deadpool anything yet.
Yeah. I think it's season pass.
Yep. So I just wanted to know, just curious how difficult is, and I'm glad to see like there's a couple of people in chat that were like, yeah, around Ultimate 2 and 3 you got to get kind of meta. You know, you got to kind of look up some stuff.
I've heard that as well.
The only things I've been really looking up so far is the fucking stupid arbitrary like gift and haven system. It's just like,
on who likes what?
Yeah, like there's certain ones that make sense, but it's like,
shut the fuck up is what it was like when you talked Warhammer for an hour. You can sit there and listen.
I'll go for it. I'm waiting.
Blade listen to your chat. Fishing?
Yeah, it's weird.
Why? Like the fuck.
It's weird.
Whatever. Anyway,
that's what it is. Yeah.
You want to go to another CD-ROM?
Yeah, the final one. Where are we headed?
Anywhere. Take us anywhere, Zeke.
Let's. Well, you know what?
I'll
tell you where we're
5
going.
minutes. Jesus Christ, doing your baby ass chat. Shut the fuck up. Go listen to everyone talk about Warhammer for 2.5 hours.
But Warhammer's interesting.
Okay, dude. I'd rather blow my fucking brains out than host another Warhammer show.
Oh no, you did it! He said it. God!
I said that after you left last time.
Oh yeah.
Zeke, where are we headed?
Awesome though.
No, I'm just gonna go through the Twitch VODs and gather up every single instance of saying Zeke looks bored. Zeke, say something. Like, I'm going to gather up all of those, and you're going to watch chat roll for 24 hours. It's just going to be anyway.
Nonstop,
let's you know what, Gumshoes. Let's find Carmen Sandiego.
Oh my God, the originals.
Wait, what is a gumshoe? Is that
it's a private eye? It's a private
term for gumshoe. Yeah,
no,
Gumshoes is a detective. God damn, I gotta shut that off. Someone gives it a sub to nice tits, bro.
Just turn the notifications off.
Well, that's what I'm doing. Yeah. I forget because this is only the third show we've done it with OBS virtual cam. Yeah. Anyway, so I got Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego Deluxe Edition.
Oh my God, it is.
What?
Oh hell yeah!
What's in the deluxe edition, Zeke? What do you pay extra for?
I think it's just like better. It's basically the same game as the ones previous because these Carmen Sandiego games, same basic game has been released with different like versions of it, like 10 of them of the same basic game, just little differences, you know. So if you've played one, you probably get it. You probably played all of them. You know, it's a very similar way of navigating through the game. It's just like the phone looks different. Maybe it has an antenna in this version. It doesn't have an antenna in this version. We did have a little bit of trouble getting this one going because my sound card.
Yeah.
My sound card
Blaster 64.exe.
16, the SB16 or SB Pro was not compatible right away or something. It wasn't like the voices weren't coming through. The MIDI was fine because we had General MIDI on, and General MIDI like usually takes care of everything. So we had that going, and then we tried. I mean, you can do the Roland, but you know, General MIDI usually takes care of everything you need. But then you know, the Sound Blaster Pro is probably, or Sound Blaster anything is usually the universal thing, but sometimes you got to go to like, you know, different stuff like creative or whatever.
I never understood when like console people that love video games and love specifically console games were like, God, that PC shit is too hard. Now I understand why. It's because everything that you just described completely attached that stigma to it in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh yeah,
it was a fucking mess.
You got to know, you got to know. You remember that scene in my doggy, my puppy.
Yeah.
You remember that scene in Hackers where they're all sitting around a table and they're quizzing the new guy on like the hacker books.
Yeah,
like what about this? Is like, yeah, that's the pink shirt book, also known as the big book that's too big to fit on your shelves. Like these are things that you like just internalize. You just know like what your IO port is and what like, you know, what frequency 220 is the standard, like the stock. And that you're that kind of shit. You just know. It's just after doing it for a while. Anyways,
hack the planet.
You gotta hack.
Getting to Carmen Sandiego. Gotta hack the planet. It's definitely super fun for a day. It also. Yeah, that's how you know that you're in the right spot.
That's how you know, man. That's how you know.
If you travel to a location and it starts off with an animated bad guy going across, that
you're on the trail.
You know you picked the right spot. You're on the trail of whomever. I did not finish the game because little did I know that there are, I don't remember how many exactly, but there were like 20 something promotions that you have to get before you like actually get the final one, the highest promotion, and actually go look for Carmen Sandiego. Like I was like a third of the way through, and I was like, oh shit, we're on the trail of actual Carmen Sandiego. And someone in the chat was like, no, here's all the things. And I was like, detective, master, inspector, junior inspector, senior inspector, master inspector. I was like, it took me 3 missions to get a fucking upgrade. So like, there is a ton of like,
what is an upgrade
content
within this
sweet, juicy content.
It's just a promotion.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. And that just unlocks more maps or more missions or something?
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of repeat locations and stuff because they can only give you like so much trivia. But
right,
yeah, you eventually start like you get some like through my stream of the game. I got a couple of repeat clues and stuff like that. But as oftentimes is the case with games like this, they'll give you similar like trivia questions, but not exactly the same. But you know, like from the previous one, you're like, oh, they're just rewording this question in a different way. Okay, I know where to go now. I know I gotta go to Kuala Lumpur. Okay,
yeah. Does it have all
but
the?
It was fun.
Like all the sound that you would recognize from the show, if that makes sense. Like this, is it like the true Carmen Sandiego experience? I guess is what I'm asking.
This, I believe, came out before or around the same time as the television.
I think the game was out before the show.
Oh, really?
Well, the game was definitely out, but right? This version, like the deluxe version, I think came out in 90.
Yeah, the Rockapella. Yeah,
94, 93.
Yeah.
But don't worry. If you watch the VOD, we played that song at least 6 times.
Good.
Because that might be my favorite theme song of any show ever.
It's pretty good.
I love it. Every time I hear it, I'm just come on. Like
it's a good song.
Love that.
Oh, it was the Broader Bun software era. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Was that the publishing?
Yeah.
Broader Bun.
Broader Bun?
Founded in 1980. They made Prince of Persia.
Oh, wow.
Lode Runner. Remember those games? The Print Shop. Myst.
Man, that just makes me nostalgic and a little sad for like, walking in the Babbages, just seeing those giant boxes.
Reader Rabbit.
Yeah, that game. Reader Rabbit's huge.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
They're definitely a big company. Actually, after this stream was over, someone linked me like a little half an hour like documentary on the television show.
Oh yeah. Am I misremembering?
Yeah, I mean it was about Carmen Sandiego as a whole, but it really focused on the television.
Am I misremembering, or did Mark Summers host that show?
No.
Am I just thinking
that was?
I'm just thinking Mark Summers did everything.
Double Dare.
Yeah, he did like everything Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. This was PBS. Yep. Carmen Sandiego.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yeah, it's actually a really interesting and a pretty short watch, only like half an hour, but it's an interesting documentary. I think I don't remember what company did it, but it was interesting to see how they like made the show and how they how it came together and stuff, and how the actress that they got for the chief, like she turned it down several times because it's like it's too time
to read all that.
Yeah, too much. It's too much time to like be on the show and like do like, because they did like 3 shows a day. Like
yeah,
it was a lot.
Yeah.
So she recorded most of her stuff, like most of the stuff that she did that wasn't interacting with like live people. She recorded it because if you watch the show, she's like talking through a television or talking directly to the camera to the gumshoes who she doesn't ever name like by name. So, but it's like this game brought back a ton of memories, and I found out that the show, the game show that they had made of Carmen Sandiego, they don't release or like to release like the old episodes.
Why?
for the sole reason that they are not factually accurate anymore.
Oh, because so much of the world
at the end of all of the shows, at the end of Carmen Sandiego, the show, every time
I don't like where this is
they would
going.
say the facts of this show were 100% true at the time of filming.
No, that's where I don't like where this. I don't like things that change that much with time. I'm sure the world has changed so much.
Yeah, it was an entire show on geography. So as borders and things change and countries, all that stuff.
Some of that stuff that they probably don't, in some cases, don't even exist anymore.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Anyways.
This was a lot of fun. I got to show off how little I know about geography and how bad our U.S. education is when
I'm
it
sure
comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And also, there were countries in the game that are no longer countries and stuff like that. So there's some factual inaccuracies as far as, modern times go. But it was a fun little trip. And it had surprising, like I said, it had a surprising amount of content that I didn't even get to.
Yeah. Cool.
Very cool.
It's a wild one. It's a wild game.
Yes, Defunct Land. Thank you. Less Sanity.
What is
that? Was the name of the documentary?
Defunct Land.
Yeah, Defunct.
Okay.
Land.
Got it.
Documentary. Yeah.
Might watch that. Zeke, in less than let's just do thumbs up, thumbs down. You watching Last of Us?
Yeah. I didn't watch the most recent one that came out yesterday.
No. There's only 3 episodes out. Newest one's out tonight.
Oh, tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm caught up then.
Okay. Thumbs up. You liking it?
I am absolutely liking it.
Okay. I haven't seen episode 3 yet. I think we're watching it.
Random question. For us that have played through Last of Us, is it possible to spoil the show?
Yes.
Yes?
I mean, it's the game in the show.
No. I'm saying if we've played through the game, is it possible to spoil the show?
For others?
Are there things in the show that are changed enough to be spoilers if we've played through the game?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I haven't seen any of them yet. I'm waiting for them all to come out, then I'm going to binge them.
Kinda?
About that.
Yeah. Episode
Ad is saying 100% yes. The show changes some stuff. That's what I was wondering.
Episode 3, for example, is it's different, but it's additive, if that makes sense.
For sure.
Yeah. They're not changing a lot of the core stuff. It's additive to kind of the world.
Oh man. In that case, I can't wait for the last episode.
Right.
That's gonna be oof.
Man. Also, be careful about binging that. I don't know if you're one to be affected by media in terms of depression.
Oh.
Some of that stuff is pretty fucking hard.
I did indeed also watch Cyberpunk Edgerunners. So
I mean that was depressing. I think episode 3 might be
really.
I don't know. I haven't watched it. I'm just going off of what people said. I've heard episode 3 is really fucked up.
Edgerunners put me in like a near coma in some regards for 3 days. Is it like that?
I haven't watched it, so I don't want to say yes or no. Zeke would have to be the one.
Okay.
But I don't think Zeke's seen Edgerunners, right? You haven't watched that, right, Zeke?
I tried watching a couple episodes and it didn't grab me. Okay. It wasn't for me, I don't think.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have.
Maybe I need to give it another chance, though.
People have told me that they have not ever been affected by media in terms of crying or whatnot, and they full on ugly cried at episode 3. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll space it out a bit.
But I gotta say, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but that was an easy win, though. I gotta say,
sure,
that was a fucking easy win. It's like, do you want a round of applause from an audience, from any audience, in probably the U.S., maybe the entire world? Say you're bringing out Mr. Rogers. Oh my God, Mr. Rogers! It's that's fun. That's an easy win, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
That's what that episode was for me. It was okay, of course.
Sure. I feel like we're gonna have to talk about it once we've all seen it.
Yeah, once we finish it, we should definitely talk about it. Without a doubt, it'll be wrapped up end of March, so maybe April-ish we can talk about it.
I thought you said tonight was the last episode or something.
No, I said it ends on March 28th. I remember this happened earlier in the episode. I knew you were confused, but I figured chat would say you're right. The game is being delayed till March 28th, and the final episode comes out on like March 25th or 26th. And so the idea is that they're pushing the game back, even though they didn't state as such, to ride the full hype wave of the show.
So there's going to be like 12-ish plus episodes from the sounds of it?
I think there's 10.
10, okay.
Yeah, chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say there's
10 saying
9.
Okay.
9, okay, yeah. So we're about a week or so then.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, we could definitely discuss it into March, early April.
Yeah, I heard they're pushing The Last of Us back because they had problems with the copyright title or something.
Someone sniped it. Yeah.
By the way, funny little note real quick before we go. Force Gaming, who is a big YouTuber for strategy gaming, he has been following the Day Before fiasco for a long time, and he has been very vocal that this game is a scam. He actually took the first, some of the scenes from the trailer they released. They are literally shot for shot the exact same as the Call of Duty Zombies trailers. Like copied their homework, like the exact shots, the exact angles.
It's so weird.
And what's even weirder is it's in their own engine. It's in their own engine.
Yeah.
So they looked at the Call of Duty Zombies things and they didn't steal them. They said, we're going to remake that in our engine to look exactly like that.
Why? Like, I don't, it's just, there's so many things to steal from. It's bizarre.
There's so many red flags. It's like they have a cannon for red flags. And they're just like firing them everywhere. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Really bizarre stuff. All right, let's wrap. Do some shout outs.
Cool. Big thank you, as always, to JP and Zeke, and thank you guys for watching. My name is Hello. If you want to check out that game Hitman that we were talking about earlier today, I'll be playing some of that tonight. If you want to check out Dark and Darker, I'll probably be playing that tomorrow morning. And then we're going into the Steam Next Fest stuff, which I'm going to be doing lots of demos. We'll probably do what we call on the channel demo days, which a lot of streamers do. Basically, we're just going to start getting a bunch of demos that are going to be released because we probably got a ton coming out tomorrow. We'll play through them. We'll get suggestions from chat on your favorite demos, play those too, and do all that kind of stuff as well. So hope to see you in the channel. If I don't see you then, see you next week. We've got a lot of fun stuff coming up this week. So yeah, see you guys then.
Cool. Zeke, do some shout outs.
And I got to run. See you guys later. Thanks.
See ya. Bye.
You go now?
Okay.
Hey,
Zeke, it's always great to see you, bud. Thanks, man.
Damn you, motherfucker! I'm gonna fucking find you.
Later, guys.
Perfect. My name is Ezekiel3rd. You can find me at /Ezekiel_I on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, or Ezekiel the Third, all spelled out on Instagram and TikTok. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I want to thank my co-host, JP and Co, for being wonderful every week. I will be streaming on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. I will be starting Hi-Fi Rush. I'm going to give it a look, and I'm going to go into it with the attitude of Co. I'm just going to hate it. I'm going to hate on it until it proves
it
doesn't deserve my hate.
Is this the 340th episode complete swap where now Co hates games? It's finally happened.
Oh my God.
He's played so many that he hates them, and I'm out here trying demos.
He does, yeah. It's weird. It's weird, man. Yeah, but I'm going to be doing Hi-Fi Rush, and I've got like lots of games in the pipeline now that CD Ramathon's over. So I hope to see you on my stream when I start streaming. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Awesome. I think tomorrow will probably. I'm trying to decide when I want to jump into Dark and Darker. I think it might be later in the week so that like people that are good at the game get it out of their system. And then when I jump in as the complete shitter, I won't get rolled, but maybe it's going to work against me if they get to play and get warmed up. I don't know. I'll be playing it sometime this week. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow, but it will be on the stream at some point. I do want to check out a bunch of stuff on Steam, on the demos that they are all releasing starting tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. And then just normal shows. Tomorrow we got MCU Crew at our new time, 8 p.m. Eastern, tomorrow evening. And then Wednesday, more D&D with Last Call for Adventure. That's at 1 p.m. Eastern. I think that's it. I don't think there's a big game coming out this week, right? Like there's nothing, no big game at all this week. I think it's just
I haven't heard of any.
Yeah, I don't think there's any games coming out this week, so we probably won't have that much to talk about. We'll probably talk mostly about demos next week on the show. Yeah. I don't think
probably
there's a
talk
big
about
game at
that.
all. Yeah.
No. I think this week is just gonna fly by. It's just gonna like poof. It's gonna be gone before you know it, like magic.
Yeah. It'll be like a very simple spell incantation. Yeah, it'll just. Be
I think so. But speaking of that, I might be late because I got to go to the doctor for my warts on my hog.
Yeah. So that
was a stretch, dude. I apologize for that one.
I mean, I don't want to hear about you stretching your hog and the warts on it at all. I just need to stop. Co's sending us Morse code. Someone decipher it. He actually sent a, for some reason, unless the frame is active, it doesn't capture the last frame. And so what you guys are seeing is right when we swapped over to do shoutouts. What I'm seeing is Co very upsettingly staring into my soul with a grimace on his face. And it's probably in regards to Zeke talking about the stretching of the hog. Yeah.
My work.
It's the legacy of the legacy of Ezekiel's all have this hog and wart issue. Yeah. It's rough. Yes, it's very much stare if you have that on 7 TV. All right, we're out of here. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week. We'll talk about demos or something, whatever else there is. Have a good one. Bye-bye.